Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Simracersworld TV and Season 2 of the Simracersworld Formula 3 series, the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. I am your host and commentator for the evening and the entire series, Chaz Draycott. Great to be here once again for another very exciting championship. I am sure we've got a big shake-up in the rules for Season 2. And what better place to test it than Phillip Island in Australia, the beautiful circuit, one of my very favourites, not just on the iRacing service, I should say, but in the world. Such a demanding track, a lot of elevation change, braking zones when you're going around corners, and a lot of sort of blind entrances and exits of corners in some certain circumstances, so these drivers are going to have a real test on their hands tonight. It should be a lot of fun to see how they get on. But welcome everybody to the start of something fantastic that I'm very excited to see. So, just to run you through then, the changes to the championship standings. Some very, very interesting changes. Not the championship standings, sorry, the championship rules. So, we have heat racing in Formula 3 cars, which I think is a very interesting concept and is going to be a lot of fun to watch. They're going to be into a 15-minute qualifying session, not too long from now, and there's going to be one fast repair available in all these races that you're going to see tonight. I thought I'd get that out of the way first. Race 1 will be all drivers taking part in the evening, and it's going to be 15 laps around here tonight, or 23 minutes, whichever comes first. The top 10 in that race will then progress to the feature race, and there are no championship points earned in that race. However, if you get 0 incidents, you get 5 bonus points, and for every incident over 12 incident points, you get -2 championship points. Drive-throughs, you get them at 12 incidents and 17 incidents, and then disqualified at 20. We then have a consolation race, then, not consolidation. A consolation race. All drivers that don't qualify for the feature race, basically. So the top 10 go through, and then everyone else gets another chance to do it. 11th place in that race then is fixed that's where they finished in that race meeting. They earn 40 points. 12th gets 36. And then it goes down the order. 30th place is the last scoring position with 1 point. And then we have a 10-minute warm-up. With some of the guys from the first race that got through into the feature race, just to get used to the track surface and get used to how the conditions have changed. And then we have the feature race, the best 20 drivers of the evening, top 10 of race 1 and the Consolation. And then we have 21 laps, 125 points on offer for first place. So we're going to see some big scores this season. We have Tanguy van der Weg is currently missing from the timing screen on the top left. I think that's just because he set a lap in the time where I was resetting the overlay. Here's Josh Clogg, 11th at the moment. And you can see there, though, he is just over 0.3 of a second off the top time so far in this session. But it's Brian Loynes for Sim Stickers at the moment, flying the flag. Of course, Sim Stickers championship sponsor, back once again to provide a hell of a lot of support for this championship, and we are all so very grateful for it at Simracersworld and Simracersworld TV, so thank you very much to the guys there. Wayne Palmer, his teammate, Sim Stickers Racing, and Ross Nicholson, new liveries for these guys, and they look absolutely stunning, don't they? Look at that. Gorgeous. Sebastian Heberer, he's out on track for Simracersworld Esports tonight, and interestingly enough, we do not have our reigning champion Christophe Herbigno. He is missing the first round due to work. We've got a couple of new teams on the block though. Hans Polmans, who's just gone past shot there in the Flemish Sim Sports car. Now my co-commentator Jack Werrell loves that livery, and why wouldn't you? I mean, look at the satin metal on that, it looks absolutely stunning. We've got John Tusting of Quantum Racing, another satin metal one there. And Chris Roberts, Virtual Racing Compound. Him and his teammate Matthew Forrest are out together this season. Louis Correa has been setting the world alight in the Sunday Drivers MX5 series, which has been on Simracersworld TV. And it's interesting to see him in a bit more of a powerful and downforce-based car. Daniele Guidici for Abruzzi Esports joins us on the grid for this season as well. There's so many teams. Flat Out Sim Sports, Daniel Merchant. Quite like that livery, even though it's nice and basic. Craig Jones for SCC Racing. Good to see Craig on the grid. Year 1 Racing Alpha Live. Have more cars out there. That is James Forsyke. Not the Year 1 livery we're all used to seeing. It's nice, the Alpha Live one. I really do like the colours. Here's Ben Hoffman, his teammate. Kevin Zemstra for Fiercely Forward, the Dutch driver. Team Iridium, Adrian Falcon. Quite like that one as well. It's very realistic livery is what we'd call it in the trade. It's going to be a very exciting championship, and I hope you're all just as excited as I am. Kevin Bolland joins us for another season in Year 1 Racing's very bright car as he pirouettes it and shows us all the wonderful angles of it there. This is Luke Wobbs from Fiercely Forward. We're not seeing a livery on his car at the moment, I'm afraid. Or we are, it's just I don't think it's the right one. Danny Fenning of Sim Stickers Academy. Gorgeous livery there for him. Oh, wow, that's a big off over the top of the hill. There's another Team Iridium car, Victor Bolea Centelles. That's Josh Clogg in the background having a bit of an issue, I think. Danny Fenning is still off the circuit, by the way. Listen to it. They do sound good. They do sound very, very good. Well, Seb Heberer is just coming to the end of a lap, so we'll go on board, if you can hear me, on board with the Dallara Formula 3 car then of Seb Heberer. 250 kilometres an hour down towards turn 1. They're going to be sat on the limiter when they get there. Just flat round there, try not to wash off the speed, don't let the car oversteer, onto the brakes, tricky turn 2, the back end wants to step away, you can see it just slithering around a little bit. Use the curb on the left, let it wash out to the right, really try and keep your speed up through there. Long left-hander into a hairpin. Tricky braking zone to get right, you want to go in as late as you can. There's a car in the middle of the circuit, beautiful avoidance there by Seb Heberer. Lights up the rears a bit on exit, but manages to carry on. What a lap we've chosen to go on board with. Into the left-hander now. The camber really does help you here, but if you hit that curb, it can unsettle the car quite a lot. Back on the throttle. Smoothing the line out quite a lot here is Seb. Now, up over the climb, and this is so difficult to get right. It's blind all the way around, you just got to trust that the car's going to stick. Bit of dust and smoke, the car off in front of him there. I think that was Josh Clogg, onto the brakes. Nicely done by Seb Heberer, and again, another corner where you can hit the curb and spin the car quite easily. Over to the right hand side, smooth it out around the left, a little bit more steering input just to hug the inside line. And there is a lap of Phillip Island with Seb Heberer. Does he improve on his time? Probably not after the little incident we saw him having. Dries van den Rijt, in one of my favourite liveries, is back in the championship as well, the Data Wire Racing driver. He's with us again. Great to see. Arthur Fry, just behind him on track. He's a privateer for this championship, number 33. 7th at the moment, doing a fine job. Let me know how everything sounds though, everybody, whether you're enjoying it, whether you think it's rubbish, whether you blame it on me. Well, I think we're going to have a very entertaining evening, everybody, and a very entertaining championship. We have round 2 of the championship in 2 weeks' time from the incredible Monza, and I think we're going to see a lot of great racing around there in these cars. We've got a lot of Sim Stickers teams out there tonight, so we've got Sim Stickers Academy, Sim Stickers Racing. I think that's it, yeah. But Paul Godden in that very pretty car. Looks absolutely mega, doesn't it? He's just coming up on Kevin Bolland there in the Year 1 car. Let us know how the stream looks, everybody. I hope it looks okay. Just trying to save resource at the moment, and I'm not checking the stream as often, so please do bear with me. I'll be checking it on my phone over the course of the evening though. Hello everybody. Ryan Parkins saying these cars are super quick around here. Yes mate, they are, they certainly do fly. Jonathan, Diego, Swablu, good to see you guys, and you Mr. Werrell, I see you there. I think we're going to have a lot of fun around here this season then. Oh, Bolland, I thought he was going in a little bit hot there. He's just overshot the hairpin. lights it up. Thank you, Ryan. Well, the PC build went well, but in all honesty, I have to hold my hands up and say it's not the... oh, wow, Kevin's had a right moment there and put it in the wall, unfortunately. Here's Greg Parmenter from SimStickers Academy. Just going back to the PC build, though, yeah. It's not turned out to be as mega as I thought, unfortunately. I had a lot of technical issues on a stream last night, and I have to be very careful about resource on here just to make sure that it all looks good for you guys, so I'm going to be probably, as much as I hate to admit defeat, I'm probably going to be building another one at some point soon anyway, but we'll have to see. Anyway, looking at the standings at the moment, Tanguy van der Weg is doing a great job for Flemish Sim Sports. I'll get his name right one day. Tanguy, if you listen to this and you think, oh god, I'm getting your name wrong, then please do message me and let me know. It does say he's 13th at the moment, it does for Tanguy, but I don't think that's correct. We'll reload the overlay just to see if we can get that to work. No, apparently he's still missing. He's up there in second place though, even though that does say 13th. He did a 1:22.28 as his fastest time. Kevin Zemstra for Fiercely Forward. That's a good looking car, that as well, isn't it? Do like the Fiercely Forward machine. Great looking car. Oh, we've got Seb Heberer. Oh, and Kevin Bolland off the track. Something has gone wrong there for these boys. Let's have a quick check back, shall we? Oh, Seb's gone around. He's in the middle of the corner. How does Kev get there with him? Oh, I think Kevin had the exact same issue. Let's have a look. Let's go on board with Seb. Turns it in. Oh, the back end just gets away. And then, yeah, Kevin Bolland joining him there with the exact same issue. That was beautifully choreographed, lads. Well done. Oh, we've got Ross Nicholson. Ross was very, very fast last season. He's going to give up on that one and take it back to the pits just before he gets to the wall. Here's number 77, Louis Correa. See what Louis can do. We'll go on board with him as well. So let's do that camera, shall we, so you can see a bit more of it. Listen to him on the limit, they sound... oh, they sound absolutely brilliant. Sorry, having a bit of a man moment there. It's just the intake noise and the limiter just, it sounds like it's choking itself. It really is trying. Klaus Guger, privateer in the championship as well. It looks very much like a SimStickers livery, so I'm going to have to keep my eyes out for that one. We have 36 cars in the field at the moment. Stephen Grabowski's back out this season as well. Look at that for a livery, wow. I know Stephen likes a good spec map. He had a very shiny car last season, but that's gorgeous. Oh, wow. Nearly gets into the back there of the number 22, that's Luke Wubbs. These guys were asked if they could use the long pit lane. Cam Sturch in the chat. Good to see you, Cammy. Hope you enjoy the stream this evening. Oh, Danny Fenning has managed to get himself into a nice spectator spot there. Let's have a look how Danny managed that. Oh, again, that hairpin. Oh, there's a nose cone of a year one car there. Was that? Yeah, Kevin Bolland, unfortunately. Let's have a look how he managed that. He's not having the most straightforward of night so far, Kev. Just trying to master that hairpin. Oh, he's too hot on the middle of the corner and rips it to bits on the wall, I'm afraid. But he's back out. Trying again. Here's Greg Parmenter down the straight. He's done a 1:23.25 as his best. Last time was a 1:23.91. But don't forget, everybody, while you do want to keep watching the stream, don't forget to stay hydrated on days such as today. It's taking its toll on a lot of things. As Seb Heberer is off the circuit again. Oh, we've got another SimStickers car around there as well. These guys are not having it their own way so far. They're finding it to be a lot more tricky than I think a lot of people make out. And these Formula 3 cars are a right little devil to drive sometimes because they don't feel like they've got all the power in the world, but they can very easily catch you out and spin around. Brian Loynes, though. top of the pile at the moment, doing a smashing job. He's loving it in the pit lane. He's probably just sat there having an ice cream at the moment. Here's the Team Iridium car of Adrian Falcon, deciding to give up on the lap. He might have got embarrassed. Arthur Fry, 7th at the moment, highest placed privateer in the field. Next up is Louis Correa down in 16th. Do make a good noise, these cars, and of course iRacing's new X-Audio 2 system sounding very, very good indeed. And I tell you what, everybody, you're getting more Chaz than you bargained for here. We weren't meant to go through the entire of practice, but here we are. That's a pretty car, isn't it? That Quantum Racing livery really looks good. Oh, that's an out of what looked like an out of control Greg Parmenter there in the 163. Just looked like he was absolutely all over the place going down the hill there. Scary stuff for the car in front. That was John Tusting. These two are together in the middle of the pack. 25th and 26th at the moment. Listen to him coming up there on the limiter. Sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh wow, Greg has actually gone around just in front there in the middle of the circuit. That was a scary moment for everyone else. Oh, as the 25 goes off as well. Just in the background, that was one of the Flemish Sim Sports cars. Trying to find which one it was. Number 25 was Hans Polman's. Come back on. Oh, there's another car around in front of him there just as he got off the curb. Look at it pitch sideways. Wow, very quickly went sideways there. Lee Woodburn is also off. It looks like he's not the only guy to have gone there as well, judging by the tyre tracks. These lot, I'll tell you what, they're finding bits of Phillip Island that I've never seen. But yes, 2 heat races tonight and then a final. This is going to be very exciting. So, we get everybody in race 1. Craig Jones, I just saw it running wide and thought, yep, he's going to clip the gravel. But we have the first race with everybody in it, and the top 10 go through into the final of the evening. Then everyone that didn't make it through goes into a consolation race, and the top 10 of that go through. And then we have a final race after a 10-minute warm-up, just to get everybody dialed in again, and there's a bit of a break between it. And then basically anyone that doesn't finish in the top 10 in the consolation race will be locked into 21st position and downwards. And then everyone in the final obviously will make up the top 20. It may not sound very straightforward with me explaining it like this, but when you see it happen, trust me, you'll see that it is a very straightforward system when you get your head around it. This is Wayne Palmer, currently in 10th position overall. Sim Stickers guys doing a great job so far this season. They enjoyed all the pre-season testing as well. Oh, he's running a little bit wide on exit there, and Wayne needs to be careful because these cars can really light up the rears on grass and gravel. Apologies if you can hear a fan, by the way. I have turned that down, but let me tell you, it's warm in here with these screens and a PC, and no window open anyway. Can't trust people outside my house not to scream in the middle of the street at 9 PM. It seems, based on yesterday's broadcast. That was Klaus Guger having a moment. There's a couple of other cars off there with him. They're all having a day at the beach, these lot. Here he is then, on the power. Yep, just as it goes over the crest, it goes around. Oh wow, look at that. Wow, there's loads of them. It's like the Paris-Dakar. They're all over it, them lot. They're loving it. This is Kevin Zemstra, currently 6th for Fiercely Forward. Behind Ewan Marshall for Meraki Racing. Good to see the Meraki car out there tonight. He's just sat there in the pit lane at the moment. Brian Loynes, currently fastest, is back out on track for Sim Stickers. The number 23 car, 122.248. Very good time indeed. 10th of a second faster than Adrian Falcon in 3rd position. Oh, we've got Dries van den Rijt off the track. There's going to be a lot of off-tracks tonight. I think these guys are going to want to push it as hard as they can to make an impression. Here's Ben Hoffman just practicing his pit entrance and making a lively performance of it. Who else have we got a bit further down? Tim Rutten is back for another attempt at the championship for DSRT, Dutch Sim Racing Team. Good to see those guys represented well again. Oh, he looks like he's gone a bit hot into the hairpin there, although, I tell you what, these Formula 3 cars do always surprise me. And they stop very, very well. We've got Kevin Bolland off the track again. Kev's having not much fun in practice, it's safe to say. Here's the Abruzzi Esports car of Daniele Guidici. Or Guidici, sorry. If it was Guidici, it'd be UI, wouldn't it? Not IU. Silly Chaz. But yes, I hope everything looks okay, guys. Just using the practice session essentially as a chance to just get used to the liveries, get you guys toned into what's going on, and of course make sure that the stream looks okay. I know the frame rate does drop just below 60 a little bit here and there. However, I'm doing my very best for you. Quite like that Abruzzi livery, it's nice and simple. Works very, very well. Here's Bart Delman for Simracersworld Esports. In what is not a brown car, it's a metallic orange. It looks very, very good. Bart Delman's Simracersworld Esports machine. Bart won, I believe, his first league races, he said, in about 2 years last season. Oh, there's cars all over the place in front of him. What happened there? That was Khan Newen, one of the SSC boys. Hans Polmans went off the circuit. Oh, he was on the other end of the track. I think Ben White might have been involved. Near the end of the lap. Oh! And oh wow, that's a massive hit there. That was one of the Fiercely Forward cars. Can't quite figure out who it was in the middle of the circuit. I think it was Adrian Falcon. Let's have another look. Tim Rutten was involved somewhere else. No, it wasn't Adrian Falcon. Khan Newen just arrived on the... Oh, Khan Newen actually just went off all on his own. He had his own spin. And the accident had already happened in front of him. We will get to the bottom of this one. Oh, Ben just thought the car was going to go over to the right and then get smacked into by the Fiercely Forward machine, and the car miraculously repairs itself. We've seen that a lot recently on iRacing. But wow, what a hit that was there for Ben White. But luckily this is only sim racing and he's going to be perfectly fine. If not a little bit shocked by that one. I'm just trying to figure out who that was. I know it was a blue car, maybe Luke Wobbs? Or was it Arthur Fry? This is like a real sort of investigation now. Let's have a look. See in slow-mo. We may as well while we've got the chance. It is one of the Iridium cars, isn't it? It's the other Iridium car. It was Victor Bollier Centelles that had his own little accident there, I'm afraid. And then, oh, there was contact behind as well, actually. That's where the other contact came from then. Wow. That was pretty crazy then. But now then, everybody, we have qualifying. So all the cars are spawning into the pit lane and running away. And cracking on as best they can. Then we'll go on with board with Brian Loynes to start off the session. First qualifying session of the season. Don't forget, everyone, do say hello in the chat, whether you be on Facebook or YouTube. I'll be reading through the YouTube chat this week. Over the course of the season, I'll fluctuate that between the Facebook and YouTube chats, though. We are also live on Twitch, on Simracersworld TV. And on the Simracersworld Formula 3 Series Facebook page as well. Oh, as Brian has decided not to pursue that lap any further. I think he's still sat there. He's managed to come back on. Oh, we've got one of the Alpha Live Year 1 cars off. I think that was Ben Hoffman. He's just gone back to the pits. Yes, James Forsyth is at full racing speed, maybe just trying to get a bit of temperature in the tyres. Ross Nicholson has done purple sectors on the outlap. Let's see who's going to be the first one to start a lap. Paul Clist has just started his lap, sorry. Stephen Grabowski just in front of him. We'll go on board with Stephen for a moment. Yeah, look at these. The outlaps are now coming in on the left-hand side. They're nothing to worry about yet. Oh, Stephen's got a bit hot into the hairpin there, and that is going to be straight on, my friend. And a big slide around there he goes. Just looking who is furthest round a lap on here. We've got a couple of guys now putting more and more outlaps in. You can see them coming through on the left. .126s, we know that that is not qualifying pace. Seb Heberer just taking to the gravel. He's got the number 77 there of Lee Woodburn just going past him. Lee making his, sorry, that was Louis Correa. Lee Woodburn was, I believe, 77 last season. Or was he 777? He's number 75 this season, so there you go. I've probably got that wrong twice. Here's Ben White just coming down the hill. Difficult corners to get right in these cars because they just want to rotate on the brakes so quickly. Very easy to just lose the back end when the momentum tries to carry the car forward. There we go. Tanguy van der Weg goes top, 122.7. James Forsyth second. Ross Nicholson third at the moment, 4/10 of him. A little bit of gravel there. We've got Ben White just crossed the line there. He's just gone 9th. Palmer goes into 6th place. Times are piling up now. Brian Loynes, though, was fastest in practice. Whether he can continue that into qualifying, we will have to wait and see. But look at all the traffic. There's so many cars about on track now. That's Paul Godden just behind him in sideways out of the hairpin. Simstick is really pushing hard to get the results out of this one. Car off there. Kevin Zemstra, and he's actually been involved with Victor as well. Let's have a look what happened to these guys. Oh, fiercely forward car in there as well. Oh, that was Kevin. I do apologise. I don't think Kevin intended to do that there, but the room was not left. Arthur Fry's gone second. 0.08 of a second off Tanguy. I imagine he's a Tanguy after today, especially if he was in the UK, he would be. James Forsyth third at the moment for Year 1 Racing Alpha. Sorry, Alpha Live. A lot of these guys have not really got experience in seeing on track as well, so it's quite exciting for me. We've got the two Sebastian H's together here. Sebastian Herbera 6th and Sebastian Hawkins in 7th. P7 Sebastian, P7. Luis Correa, the Venezuelan driver. Flying in the Sunday Drivers MX5 series on Simracersworld TV. He's just trying to get to grips here with these cars. And he lets Kevin Zemstra go through there. Van der Weg just doesn't beat his time. Nicholson improves, 8th place for him, 1:22.9. Let's see who's finishing the lap. Seb Hawkins just coming around the final corner. Brian Loynes has gone third, 0.09 of a second. We've got 0.09 covering the top 3, everybody. 15,000 covering the top 4. That's unbelievable. So close already in the SimStickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. What an amazing turn of events. I was not expecting it to be this close. Not even 1/10 of a second covers the top 5. It's bonkers. Just watching these cars settle on the brakes into the hairpin is brilliant. You can just see them. Oh, well, there was a time to look at Adrian Falcon. Fastest, 1:22.698. 61 thousandths faster than Tanguy van der Weg. And the Spaniard goes to the top of the pile in the number 5 machine for Team Iridium. Very impressive that. Ross Nicholson up to 7th. Oh, Tanguy, well, there you go. Not on my watch, he says, the Flemish SimSports driver. Right back up there. We've got a great range of nationalities in this series, by the way, as well. Just to go down most of them, we have the British drivers. We've got Belgians, Spaniards. Oh, as Brian Loynes, there you go, flying the flag for Britain, goes top. Seb Hawkins goes 2nd. Ewan Marshall has gone 4th. Ben White has gone 5th. So many of them just in a line there, just helping each other. Whether that was intentional or not, I'm not sure. We've got Dutch drivers, German drivers, American, Swiss, Austrian, Italian, Venezuelan, French. So many nationalities, it's great. It's a very international championship. And there's the Meraki car of Ewan Marshall as well. I wanted to have a look at this. It's Andy Hopley that does the liveries for these things, and they don't half look good. Another man moment there. A very audible man moment as Adrian Falcon goes 2nd again. Tanguy pronounced as Tanguy. Okay, thank you very much, Diego. Like I say, any help with the names, guys? I'm not trying to get them wrong on purpose. I'm all ears when it comes to getting them right, so do let me know. Thank you very much, Diego. Hope you enjoy the stream, mate. But we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun tonight with this, and the whole championship is going to be really good. Bart Delman goes up to 12th there. He was one of the fastest drivers last season. Him and Christophe Herbenier were almost untouchable once they got near the front of the pack, but just shows you how the competition has ramped up so much this season. It's going to be very, very strongly contested. Just watching Ewan wrestle the car around the first couple of corners. Paul Godden has just gone off the circuit in front of him there. Oh, wow, another car off there as well. That was Ben White. And another one as well. Is that Lee Woodburn? It is. Honestly, these guys just fancy having a party in the gravel trap. Lee Woodburn went off first. Ben just, too late. Too late to do anything about that, but as soon as he put one wheel wide, that was it. Honestly, just I've heard of a pit party, but gravel track parties, I don't think they'll catch on. Kevin Zemstra is third at the moment for Fiercely Forward. Oh, we've got Tim Rutten off the track as well for DSRT. He's got gold wheels, and who doesn't love gold wheels? I love gold wheels. He's trying to get out of the guy's way there. James Forsyth was right up there earlier. He's now 9th on the grid. The guys that qualify in the top 10 will be very confident, because don't forget, it's the top 10 that go through after the first race. Thank you very much, R. Hopeman. Thank you very much indeed. I'm glad you enjoy the commentary, my friend. Ewan Marshall goes third now in the Meraki racing car. But don't forget, everybody, to subscribe to Simracersworld TV and like the videos as well. We have an entire season of this coming up for you. 10 rounds in the Simracersworld Formula 3 series, the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. And I'm going to be your host for the whole thing, Chaz Draycott of Chaz Draycott Media. Oh, as Ewan just decides that the rears aren't quite hot enough yet, and he's going to light up the rear. Klaus Guger is 18th at the moment, privateer. Look at the elevation changes that go over there. Onto the brakes, the car just wants to break away from you. It's easy to run wide. He's got a car down the inside there. That was Bart Daleman just going through. Down the straight Bart goes. It's great to see the green highlights on Bart's car, matching the very bright green visor that he has. Love that. Love little bits of detail like that. You'll have seen a video at the start as well, which was made for this championship by myself, which is the series trailer. Bart Daleman featuring a lot in that one. Of course, Bart is the series organizer as well. He does a brilliant job of keeping all these guys in check, and everyone really enjoys the championship. I'm just going to show you the intervals between each driver here. Look how close it is between everybody. So close. On our timing screens, it goes yellow when they're within a second, and then orange when they're within half a second. I mean, look at that as well. Just behind Bart, Hebera is actually on an identical lap time to the 1,000th of a second. And then they're only 5 thousandths ahead of this man, Ross Nicholson. Very close, all up and down the order. Guga, 6 thousandths ahead of Tim Rutten. Forrest is then 2 thousandths ahead of Giudici. More of this, please. And this is only qualifying for round 1 of the championship. Effectively what will be rounds 1, 2 and 3, but because it's all heat racing, it's just counted as one round, because there's one set of points scored by everybody that takes part. The top 20 will have their points decided by the final race of the night, and anyone that finishes lower than 20th, or anyone that finishes lower than 10th in the Consolation race, will have their points locked in after the second race of the night. But everyone gets at least 2 races, which is really good for these guys. You know, it's nice to come to a race meeting and get a lot of racing in. Some series offer a lot of races in one night, other series are just one race. I know that there's some endurance championships out there as well. I mean, look at the Simracersworld GT Pro Series that we've got coming up soon. They had the media night last night. My co-commentators Hassa Roma and Jack Werrell were on that one. And Ross Nicholson, what are you doing up there? Get down. Let's have a look what happened to Ross. We've seen a couple of cars go up there tonight. He's just going to clip the grass on the exit, and yep, lights it up, and up the bank it goes. That's not how... Oh, bad noises. Bad noises there. That was every little bit of a Formula 3 car scraping on the ground. Oh, that's a rejoin, Ross. Oh, that's going to go down like a cup of cold sick with the organisers. I believe that was the Flemish Sim Sports car. It was Tanguy just behind him. And I bet it was Tanguy, to be honest. Oh. That was very, very focusing there. On the limiter, Ross straight onto the racing line. Yeah, that won't go down well. I can't take credit for the phrase "cup of cold sick." That's a David Addison phrase, that one. can't get into the context of why he said that, but if you've seen the video, you'll know. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Hello, Mr. Godden in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Team Sim stickers. Yes, mate. Plenty of guys on track for you tonight. I'm sure that you're going to have a very successful season. Some really good drivers in there. Of course, Brian Loynes, top of the pile at the moment. Car 23. 122.3. Qualifying is just about to finish now. And, well, bang. Finishes as instantly as that. So there you go. Here is your grid then for the first heat of the night. Brian Loynes takes pole position. Adrian Falcon will be alongside him on the front row. We then have Ewan Marshall in third position. Then it's Kevin Zemstra in fourth place. And we'll fly through this a bit more quickly because a lot of these guys are gridding very, very fast. So it's Seb Hawkins and Tanguy Vague. Then we have Ben White and Seb Heberer. Arthur Fry alongside James Forsyth rounds out your top 10. Then we have Paul Godden and Dries van den Rijt. 13th is Bart Delman with Ross Nicholson 14th. You don't expect to see those guys that far down. Then we have Wayne Palmer and Ben Hoffman. Klaus Guger is just behind Josh Clogg. Tim Rutten and Matthew Forrest round out your top 20 with Daniele Guidici in 21st. John Tusting 22nd. Then we have Hans Polmans and Khan Newen on the 12th row of the grid. Then we have Louis Correa and Greg Parmenter. Chris Roberts and Victor Centelles. Luke Wobbs and Stephen Grabowski ahead of Craig Jones, Danny Fenning, Phil Reagan, Lee Woodburn, Daniel Merchant and Kevin Bolland. And back row of the grid, Paul Clist and F3 steward is actually Matisse Groen for this race. So hello up there, Matisse. I hope you're enjoying yourself. And this will be the first heat of the night then, everybody. So strap yourselves in and get ready. Hello in the chat, Chris Roberts. Good to see you, mate. You can hear some of the guys just messing around, just putting it in gear. You can hear the gearboxes clicking. Can't wait to get this underway now. Cannot wait. So, heat one of the night then. This is going to be the first one. The top 10 will go through into the final. And then we have a consolation race with everybody that doesn't go through. And then the top 10 from that will go through as well. And then after a 10-minute warm-up, just to get everyone back in the swing of things, we'll then have the final race of the evening. Here we go then. The very first race in Season 2 of the Simracersworld Formula 3 Series with Sim stickers is go. And it looks like a good launch initially for Brian Loynes, but Adrian Falcon is going to be alongside him. Let's see what the frame rate looks like as it looks at the entire field coming towards us there. A bit of action in the middle there, almost 3 wide. I think it was Ben White. And it wasn't actually, it was James Forsyth in the Year 1 Alpha Live car. Oh, we've got Victor Centelles has gone off the circuit a bit further back. Looks like everyone behaving themselves so far through there. Oh, there's a car around. I think that's Forsyth. Oh, he's gone flying down. The damage model, not my friend there. Craig Jones got caught up in that. Adrian Falcon has taken the lead from Brian Loynes down the inside into the hairpin. Beautiful job. Oh, there's cars everywhere in the background. There's a car up in the air. Just trying to catch who it was that went off the circuit. One of the Sim Stickers cars in the middle there, I'm afraid. Sorry about the frame rate, everyone. The damage model on these cars really hates CPUs, trust me. Brian Loynes has got Kevin Zemstra stuck right behind him now. And once you lose one place in these things, it's very easy to lose your mindset. Although Brian, seemingly on the attack there, shows his nose down the inside of Falcon. But he is not phased one bit then. Coming towards the end of lap 1, Ewan Marshall's got Seb Hawkins just behind him there. And they are going to round out lap 1. Stephen Grabowski had an issue, I'm afraid. Let's have a look at what happened to Victor. Oh, the rear wing's gone off that. He's already had an issue before that. Tim Rutten also has had a crash. That's out of turn 1. Just going to have a quick look and see what happened to the rest of the guys in here. The 3 wide. Oh, there's a contact on the outside. Oh, there's an Alpha Live car gets tipped there by the Simracersworld car. Who is that upside down? Someone got absolutely launched into the air there. Cars all over the shop. Unfortunately, a little bit too much for us to look at there at the moment. We will come back and see whether we can sort that out. Here is Josh Clogg, who isn't normally a midfield runner in this championship. Josh is very, very quick. And we've got the Flemish Sim Sports fan club in the chat. Hello, everybody. Just for you. Here's Hans Polmans. Currently 14th at the moment. He's gained 9 places, though. Don't forget the top 10 are the ones that we need to keep an eye on. They are the ones that go through. Overtime for the stewards. Well, to be fair, I mean, a bunch up like that is always expected. It's the tiniest bit of contact in these cars that can really set them into quite a spin, and then more contact can flip them over. This is Phil Reagan on the back of Danny Fenning in the SimStickers Academy car. Oh, Danny's actually gone in the pit lane already. Not sure why. Surely can't have been a penalty. But now Phil Reagan suddenly finds himself under attack here from Chris Roberts, who's gone alongside him down the straight. Round turn 1, this is going to be interesting. Hold on to your hats, everybody. Round the outside, Chris Roberts in the 100 car, and he's going to need 100% commitment. Hangs it out around there. He's going to try and be later on the brakes. Keeps it down the inside of Phil Reagan. Beautiful side-by-side stuff. And Chris Roberts, with his bravery and his rather large man fruit, is going to get it done, or is he? No, Phil Reagan says, not on your life, son. I'm going to come back down the inside, but then Chris Roberts is going to be on the inside for the hairpin. Can he get it done there? Great battling from these boys at the moment. Phil carries so much speed around the apex of the corner there, and through he goes. Nicely done. Just ahead, Josh Clogg is battling with Bart Daleman and Ross Nicholson. These three of the best from Season 1. 3 of the All-Stars, I would say. Klaus Guger's got a great front row seat for this as well. So close. All these guys ahead. Lots of different lines as they go down the hill. Just ahead of this as well, you can see James Forsyth was all over the back of Seb Heberer. And it's close here between Seb Hawkins and Ewan Marshall as they go down the straight. Seb has got the run, he's got the slipstream, but this car is very quickly going to hit its speed limit. You can hear the pops and bangs as they go down the straight on the rev limiter. Seb Hawkins through. Ewan decides not to fight it too much. Plays the clever game there. And this is still fighting as well behind Bart Daleman. Wants to get the better of Josh Clogg. These two in slightly different liveries than we saw them in Season 1. Same with Ross Nicholson. I must say Ross was one of my favourite drivers to watch in Season 1. He was very entertaining. Can't believe these cars are doing 122s around here. Oh, Phil Reagan's gone off on the exit of turn 1. Phil, what have you done, mate? Oh, this is Lee Woodburn, apologies. Oh, it's just wide, he's going to clip the grass. Look how fast it rotates as well. And because all the weight's in the rear, they don't always spin all the way around, so they do this really sort of awkward, like half spin. It's really frustrating. Back near the front though, Seb Hawkins has got his mirrors full of Ewan Marshall. And Arthur Fry as well, top privateer at the moment. Great stuff from Arthur, doing a fine job. 6th position for him. And to be honest, this is a very important battle between Bart Daleman, Ross Nicholson and Klaus Guger and Josh Clogg, because this is the last position that will make it through into the feature race at the end. So Nicholson and Guger can sense the opportunity. We've got Wayne Palmer a little bit further back here in the 177 car. Falcon does the fastest lap of the race for Iridium. It's also kicking off between Arthur Fry, who's also had Ewan Marshall. He's going to have PTSD going into turn 1 before you know it. The amount of times he's been overtaken there now. It's twice in 2 laps for Ewan Marshall. But still, he's in a position to get into the final. And I think one thing we're going to see from these guys is they're not going to be fighting too hard if they're already in the top 10. We've got a car going slowly in the background there. I think that was Khan Newen. Tanguy's also actually been caught up in an incident there, so not quite sure what's happened to him. Yeah, Ben Hoffman at the moment, 26th place at the moment. Just ahead of Matt Forrest in 27th. We do need to keep an eye on this though, because this is getting closer and closer, and these are the last positions that will make it in this race anyway. There is a consolation race, so these guys will get an extra chance to get in if they don't make it in this one. So whoever finishes 11th in this race, I believe, will be on pole position for the feature. Down the straight again. Already on to lap 6 of this race. Fastest lap again, Falcon. He's doing an amazing job, but here comes Bart Daleman past Josh Clogg. pushing these Formula 3 cars to the absolute limit, everybody. And Bart Daleman gets himself up a place. Ross Nicholson, though, he now wants to gain another spot. Chris Ebenyo joins us in the chat. Hi, mate. Good to see you. Here is Ross. Just poking his nose down the inside here. Josh Clogg is going to be on the inside of the hairpin. Davey Whitbowles joins us as well. Good to see you, mate. Look at that. Ross Nicholson only giving Josh the room he needs and nothing extra. He's not leaving it on the table. You just have a peek there at Josh Clogg's Lando Norris helmet. And he just gets rid of the overlap. I thought there was going to be contact then. They were so close together. Ross is piling the pressure on but still not able to get through. And all this time as well, it's making it easier for Bart Daleman to run away. He's got nearly a second gap on these guys already. Klaus Guger's just waiting here for something to go wrong because he wants that final spot in the feature race. Quite a lot of guys have been in the pit lane. Dries van den Rijt, Ben Hoffman, Matt Forrest, Tim Rutten, Kevin Bolland, Victor Centelles, Greg Parmenter, Stephen Grabowski, Carl Newen, Tanguy van der Veeg, Danny Fenning, Luke Wubbs and Craig Jones. So I believe we've lost those guys from this race. Josh Clogg still defending. An amazing defence so far from Ross Nicholson, although Ross knocks down the inside. No, nothing doing there. We've got on the gearbox cam of Josh Clogg's Dallara Formula 3 car. You can see the slipstream, you can literally see the gap closing. The overspeed from the slipstream is pretty strong, and down the inside then, oh, listen to that. Pop and bang. Ross, I thought he was going to go deep there and make contact, but he got away with it. Oh, there's a car off in front of them. I think that's Stephen Grabowski. He's just getting out of everybody's way. It's actually still close between Seb Hawkins and Arthur Fry. Pestering him just behind there. Arthur's doing great at the moment on his debut. So's Seb, and so's Kevin Zemstra in front, and Ewan Marshall. Come to think of it, there's only one car in the top 8 that was actually racing last season as well, so the newcomers have really made a strong impression here. Thank you very much, Chris. I hope you caught the stream and enjoyed it, mate, when you could. I don't expect everyone to watch the whole 24-hour of Le Mans, but yeah, it was good fun. I'm hoping that this is going to be good fun for Arthur Fry now if he gets this done down the inside. These two don't want to risk losing one of their positions to get through into the feature race. It looks like that's not going to happen. Seb is all over the back of him though. Oh, Klaus Guger's off. Oh, he had such a chance, and Josh Clogg is also off. Josh has dropped out of a top 10 place. Let's have a look what's happened here. Josh down the inside. Oh, he gets out of shape. And oh, Klaus in avoidance. He loses it himself as well. Oh, Klaus, he's going to be gutted. He probably could have just gone in there and thought, yep, there you go. There's my top 10, but no. Not that simple. So James Forsythe still in 8th. Bart Daleman 9th. Ross Nicholson is now into that top 10. We've got Ben White here having a fight with number 3, Daniel Merchant for Flat Out Sim Sports. So much good action going on there. We've got so many close battles. Seb Hawkins and Arthur Fry still at this. They're still going at it. Like a pair of teenagers in a school playground. Brian Loynes, interestingly enough, fastest lap of the race, is right with Adrian Falcon now. This is the battle for the race lead, everybody. They're still both going to get through. So, oh no, Seb Hawkins and Arthur Fry. As soon as we look away, it's the Chaz curse, everybody. Whenever I look away from a battle, it all kicks off. And these two, they're still just inside the top 10, but where is Ross Nicholson? He's just behind there. What's happened here? Arthur Fry goes back past Seb Hawkins. Let's have a look what happened. Side by side. We've seen guys lose it here in avoidance of each other. Oh, they've both just got in too hot. Luckily, no contact and nothing really for them to get angry about, like an incident or anything, but Arthur Fry and Seb Hawkins both just holding on to the top 10 spots now. Ross Nicholson is already ahead of them, sorry. It was Wayne Palmer that was coming behind them. I do apologise, got the two of them mixed up. Adrian Falcon has opened up that gap a little bit more now. At the front to Brian Loynes. Just show you the gaps on the left-hand side. They are updating live though, so it is a little bit difficult to stick with. So sorry about that. We're on lap 10 out of 15 though. Here is your race leader, Adrian Falcon. 1:23.1 for him, 1:23.3 for Loynes. Zemstra, third place by the way, on for a podium in his debut in the championship. He'll be happy with that one. Ewan Marshall, fourth at the moment. Sebastian Heberer is in fifth. James Forsythe, the Year 1 Racing Alpha Live car, very pretty machine. He's currently sat in sixth place. He's got Bart Daleman just half a second behind, and then Ross Nicholson 7/10 behind him. Paul Godden's just come in the pit lane, I'm afraid. Maybe hit the incident point limit. They only get 12 incident points before they get a drive-through, so they have to be very careful. That's just 3 bits of contact. You get 4 incident points on iRacing. Oh, Paul Clist. Paul Clist has gone off the track. Oh, and he's in the wall, and that's the end of his race. That's a real shame for him there. Let's have a look at what happened. Too hot into turn 2, or too hot on the exit. Oh, way too hot. And he's going to clip the gravel, and that's going to go straight on, and that's a one-way ticket into very expensive repair bill, I'm afraid. Although he's trying to drag it back out the pits, back out the gravel, but it's not going to work, I'm afraid, mate. Down the straight goes Falcon and Loynes, closing. Still nothing, but great battle for the lead though between these pair. I'm not sure whether Brian will push it for the race wins. No points on offer in this race, don't forget. So if you think about it realistically, he doesn't actually have reason to start chasing. Bart Daleman has overtaken James Forsythe, by the way. He's just got it done down the straight to turn 1. James doesn't put up too much of a fight. He knows that he's going to get a spot to get through into the next race. Still nice and close between those guys. Wayne Palmer is just a second behind Seb Hawkins, who is all over the back of Arthur Fry still. These guys will not leave each other alone. Stay on board with Seb for a moment, see what he can manage as he chases down the privateer ahead of Arthur Fry. Hope you're all enjoying the stream so far though. We're going to have this for the entire season, plenty of great racing from all these guys. And I'm going to be your host, Chaz Draycott, for all of it. Thank you for Simracersworld TV for entrusting me with another season of this fantastic championship. Oh, Josh Clogg's gone off again. He's having an absolute kipper, isn't he? Oh, Wayne Palmer, by the way, and Hans Polmans. Side by side, Hans goes through into 11th place, so now it's his job to go chasing down Seb Hawkins, but it's not going to work. Just behind him, Louis Correa, having a good start to his SimStickers Formula 3 Series season. Although, to be fair, Palmer says, not a chance, mate. And that's the thing with Slipstream, you can never just get away with it. Hansy's got some very good fans in the chat by the look of it. Belgian Red Eagle and Diego Hames. Great to see you guys, I hope you are enjoying the stream. Oh, Kevin Zemstra's off. Kevin Zemstra for Fiercely Forward has dropped it from 3rd place, and he is going to go outside the top 10, is he? He is! Oh, Kevin, what has happened there? Let's have a look. Is he just going to light it up on the exit? He does. Too much throttle on the exit, spins the car, and then he has to wait for the field to go through. He's now down in 13th, which means that between these guys, Hans Polmans, Wayne Palmer and Louis Correa, now battling for 10th spot and the last place from this race anyway in the feature. Matthew Forrest has had an issue. Oh, again, just lighting it up on exit. The car does the awkward sideways slide, ruins the tyres. Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Very, very pleased you're enjoying the stream. James Forsythe loses a place there to Ross Nicholson, but he won't be too downhearted by that. Hans Polmans has also lost a position to Louis Correa. Again, he's not going to take that line down, although Lewis shuts the door. He says, not a chance. I want to go chasing after Mr. Palmer. First name Wayne, who is just there, just out of shot, lap 13 out of 15 at the moment. And we're going to go straight into the Consolation race once this is over. Oh, Louis looked like he went a bit hot into there, but no. Does a fine job of keeping it on circuit. It's a very deceiving camera angle, actually. The cars look like they're absolutely flying into there, but apparently not. Over the hill again. Only a couple of laps left to go now. We've got a good battle going on here. Ben White has got Lee Woodburn and Daniele Guidici just behind him there in the Abruzzi Esports car, number 4. They're 7 seconds clear of Josh Clogg, who unfortunately is down in 20th place. Got a battle going on here between Ben Hoffman and Dries van den Rijt. Oh, Danny Fenning has had an accident. What's happened to Danny? Oh, it's just a little spin. It's like a half spin, and then, oh, as he lights up the throttle as well, it spins around again. So easy to do. So easy. But the SimStickers Academy driver getting back on with it. Ben White has just been overtaken by Lee Woodburn on the straight. Ben now down into 18th place. But as things stand, that's going to put him 8th on the grid for race 2. Just trying to see where the closest battle on track is, and it's actually these guys. That's Daniele Guidici just trying to get past Ben White, not quite making it work. Ben White there in the Damon Hill replica helmet. Oh, Tanguy's gone off again. Oh, out of turn 2, he's just lit up the rears again. He might have overheated the rears in that earlier spin, and he's 32nd now. But onto the final lap then comes Adrian Falcon, debutant in the championship, ahead of Brian Loynes, who did very well in season 1 of the SimStickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. But white flag is out though. Ewan Marshall up to 3rd, and Adrian Falcon, he's off! He's off from the race lead! Honestly, the commentator's curse and the Chaz curse, we look away from him and he's off. He's lucky there's no points on offer. He's still going to get a spot, surely. But look, it's just a tiny little mistake. And wide he goes. And Brian Loynes, the only driver that was in the top 8 earlier that isn't a debutant in the championship, is now in the race lead. And for the last few spots in the top 10, it's kicking off as well. This is Seb Hawkins in 9th. Wayne Palmer is only just behind Louis Correa, who's actually now made it into the top 10. I said he was going to go after him, didn't I? Arthur Fry is also having a fight here with sorry, not James Forster, that's Seb Hawkins. They're all swapping places that much, I can't keep up with it. But out of the final couple of corners, get those clap emojis ready, everybody. Brian Loynes for SimStickers, series sponsor, It's Not a Fix, comes across the line to take the first win of the season. That gets him a spot and pole position for the feature race later. Ewan Marshall, 2nd place. Adrian Falcon, 3rd. Brilliant performance. Seb Herber, 4th. Ross Nicholson, 5th, ahead of Bart Daleman. James Forsythe just ahead of Arthur Fry. Then we have Seb Hawkins, and Louis Correa is going to grab the final spot on his debut, meaning that Wayne Palmer will start on pole position for the feature, if I'm not very much mistaken. But wow, oh wow, what a brilliant formula we've got here for this championship. So many guys just seemed like they were guaranteed a spot in the top 10, and then before you know it, they make a mistake, or I mean, we didn't even see that many incidents, did we? There wasn't many crashes or anything. It was just losing the car, just trying to stay on it. But wow, Dries van den Rijt there, just finishing ahead of Ben Hoffman. Here's Greg Parmenter, part way round a lap at the moment. He's got Matthew Forrest ahead of him in 27th. There was a year 1 car there. I think it's Paul Clist. Paul Joseph Clist. Wow. I need a drink after that one. I did run out of drink about halfway through that race. I could definitely do with one. don't forget, everybody, do stay hydrated in this weather at the moment. It's pretty crazy weather, so do make sure you look after yourselves, drink plenty of water. Across the line then go Clist and Fenning, but Brian Loynes wins the first race then, and now we have the consolation race. No time for rest. Wayne Palmer starts pole. Hans Polmans, ironically, is not on pole in second. Kevin Zemstra third ahead of Klaus Guger. Then we have Chris Roberts and Dan Merchant, Ben White and Lee Woodburn, Daniele Guidici and Josh Clogg make up your top 10. Then it's Dries van den Rijt alongside Ben Hoffman on row 6. Then it's Tim Rutten, John Tusting, Phil Reagan, Paul Godden, Matthew Forrest, Greg Parmenter, Kevin Bolland and Carn Newen round out the top 20. Then we have Victor Centelles, Tanguy Vega, Paul Clist 23rd, Danny Fenning 24th. Then we have Stephen Grabowski, Luke Wobbs, Craig Jones and nobody. Ignore that. So we're getting ready to go then. Any moment now. We're just waiting for Josh Clogg, Ben Hoffman and Kevin Bolland. And we should have a very exciting second race. So things are going to get desperate now. Here we go then. Race 2 of the evening. The second heat, the consolation race, is away. And another great start there. Oh, we've seen some cars get a terrible start of the second row of the grid. Klaus Guger really didn't get away well there, and there's bunching up in the middle already. Look at the field. 3 wide here. That's Dan Merchant in the middle. We had Klaus Guger and Daniele Guidici. Oh, there's contact in the background. There's cars off. Big spin for John Tusting. And he's in contact there with the 134, I believe. Oh, there's cars off ahead as well. Oh, year 1 car there with no bodywork left on it. That was Ben White. That's a very battered car, and that's going to put pay to his evening, I'm afraid. But it's Wayne Palmer leading the race. Oh, Hans Polmans has gone off. Hansy. What have you done, mate? Gets back on very tentatively, although, no, he's decided to give it up, I'm afraid. Chris Roberts then is 4th, or 3rd now. Ignore Polmans on the top of the timing screen. Lee Woodburn also back to the pits. Wow, we've lost a lot of guys already. It's Tanguy. He's actually gained 12 places already in this one, in the Flemish Sim Sports car. What a great start for him. Let's just show you the gains on the left-hand side. Look at that, 12 places. Look at Jones, Craig Jones, 14 places gained at the start of this race. Just going to see how it all started at the very start of the race then. See if we can fathom this one. Oh, the year 1 car's gone wide there. Very wide. That was Phil Reagan. Makes contact there, snaps the front right suspension off Paul Godden. Oh, the other year 1 car gets into the other one there. I think that was Kevin Bolland. It was. Kevin Bolland gets in there. Then they all bunch up. That's one of the virtual racing compound cars as well. Oh, Tanguy, by the way. We looked away from Tanguy and he's gone off. We'll give it at full speed. Tanguy's gone off. Off at turn 1. We'll have a quick look back at how he managed that. Did he get any help? Oh, he's side by side with number 39, that's Tim Rutten. Oh, Tim just runs a tiny bit wide, and that tiny tap is all it needs. And Tanguy's race, unfortunately, unfolding a little bit there. But there's plenty of time for him to get it back. We've got another 13 laps. These are both 15-minute races. Sorry, 15 laps, these races. Great battle here going on. Oh, we've got Dries van den Rijt there, just trying to get the best of Victor Centelles, but his internet is certainly questionable at the moment. The British driver. I hope it sorts itself out. At the front, Wayne Palmer is surely going to get overtaken by fiercely forward driver Kevin Zemstra here. The Dutch driver lines him up for the slipstream, and this is going to look very, very easy for him. Which way is he going to go? He's going to go to the left. Now that, even though it's the outside of turn 1, is going to be a very clever move, because he's going to have the inside to turn 2. There's a car rejoining just in front of them as well. That's the Flemish Sim Sports car. That's the number 25. Oh, 3 wide through there. How did they make that fit? That was Hans Polmans just coming back on there as well. Phil Reagan's gone off the circuit. But we need to stick with this, because wow, oh wow. Hans Polmans didn't make that easy for them. Oh, there's contact in the background. Ben Hoffman has gone off. Tanguy has been given a second chance here. Hopefully not too much of a silly incident from these boys. Let's have a look. Dan Merchant down the inside. Oh, the contact there from the 85. That was Ben Hoffman. And to be honest, Tim Rutten didn't really have anywhere else to go. He made a mistake and went off onto the gravel with them. He's in 11th place, so he's still got a chance to make up for it. Roberts has got Klaus Guga all over the back of him here. Very close indeed. And that's not the top four, because just in front of them there is Hans Polmans, but he's just trying to stay out of trouble, even though he is amongst these top few. Oh, the slipstream. The slipstream from Klaus Guga. He's got the better of him there. Chris Roberts for Virtual Racing Compound. My co-commentator Jack Werrell was actually racing with those guys at Le Mans as well. And they did a great job of it, so well done, guys. Well done, everybody that took part in Le Mans as well. It wasn't an easy task. I was on the commentary duty for that as well. We had a lot of fun. Very tiring, though. My shift started at 2:45 in the morning and finished at 7:45 in the morning. Sorry, 8:45. Ben Hoffman is just behind Tim Rutten here. After their earlier incident, he wants to get the better of him. Looks like he's going to get the run around the outside into the hairpin. Onto the brakes, that puts him into 11th. Just behind as well, that was Danny Fenning. Oh, he's gone deep. Oh. Grabowski just manages to get the switch back. Bit of damage to the front left of Grabowski's car. There's a close battle here, by the way. Dries van den Rijt has got Victor Centelles behind him, and then Tanguy van der Weeg and Craig Jones. 19 positions gained. Oh, Victor's gone off. Oh, he's having a nightmare with the internet as well. So Luke Wobbs has gone through. Where's Greg Parmenter? He goes through, and that means surely is Ben Hoffman going to be able to close in? I don't think so. No, it's still a good 2 or 3 seconds ahead. But this is close again then. Chris Roberts and Klaus Guga on the limiter all the way around turn 1. Tanguy van der Weeg is now done the fastest lap of the race, 1:22.742. 6th position for him. Chris Roberts, though, I feel this isn't the end of this battle with Chris Roberts and Klaus Guga. Just in the background, look at that, Dries van den Rijt and Tanguy van der Weeg really letting it all hang out. Two very, very quick drivers in Formula 3 cars. Dries van den Rijt, he has his twitch on the back of his rear wing there. But Tanguy's in a spot now where he's got the top 10. Oh, Hoffman's off. That's going to mean that he can't quite chase for that top 10 spot. Don't forget, anyone that finishes outside of the top 10 in this race has their points locked in, and that is the end of their night. The top 10 from this one carry on to race the top 10 from the first race. Whoever wins this one will start 11th on the grid in the feature race out of the 20 cars that we'll have there. But Tanguy doesn't need to fight this position too much here with Dries van den Rijt. He's just risking it at the moment. Down the start finish straight together, great to watch. But he's got a spot at the moment and he doesn't need to throw it away. He needs to be careful here. Either way, he's up into 5th place, gets the better of Dries van den Rijt, and through he goes. And Dries, oh, he went a bit wide then, I thought he was going to go off. Paul Godden and Stephen Grabowski are having a fight. Paul Godden of Sim Stickers. Of course, Sim Stickers, the championship sponsor this season. Thank you very much, guys. They provide a hell of a lot of support for this series and Simracersworld in general. They're a great bunch of guys as well, a really strong team. And they get so much fun out of sim racing. They bring a real party atmosphere to it. Onto the brakes goes Paul, down the inside of Stephen, onto the apex. Gets it hooked up on the curb nicely there, a little bit close together. Oh, look at the netcode on that, and then there's more contact. Oh, that's such a shame. Stephen Grabowski as well has gone out of the way. I don't know whether he's waiting to let him back through. Looks like he's got back up to racing speed. Paul Godden still off the circuit on the inside. Gets back going again, but wow, that was a bit of an odd one. look at the netcode. Watch how far away they are when they touch. Because his car was closing in so quickly on Paul Godden's car, look at that. Flings it into the air. And then Paul, unfortunately, lands down with quite the bang. And those guys both out of the top 10 now. And Ben Hoffman is coming in the pit lane here. Not sure whether he got some incident points for that contact and whether that's given him a drive-through. It's a real shame if it has. Paul Godden also in the pits. Oh, Paul Godden's actually had another accident after that. Something else has happened here for Paul Godden, because that car was very damaged, wasn't it? See what he does. Apologies if we miss anything. I just want to stick with this and see what he did. Whether he's just going to chuck it at the scenery out of frustration. We've seen it happen before. Not from Paul, but just drivers just do it. It is sim racing. They don't need to foot the bill for the damage. No, I'm not quite sure why it's so damaged in the pit lane. Oh, there you go. There it is. I called it. I called it, didn't I? I hate to say I told you so. Well, here's your race leader then, Kevin Zemstra. For Fiercely Forward, he's now got a 1 second lead over Wayne Palmer. There he is. And he's 1.9 seconds ahead of Klaus Guger. Ollie Slade. Well, there you go, Ollie. Look at this. Ollie Slade joins us in the chat, everybody, from Fiercely Forward. It's one of your boys up front, Kevin Zemstra, leading the Consolation race at the moment to get himself 11th on the grid and in the feature race. And the field is now spread out. There's no cars within a second of each other anywhere in the field. Such commitment around most of these corners for these guys. You have to be really on it. We go on board with race leader Zemstra then, just to see a lap from his point of view. 7 laps to go now after this one. Oh. Tanguy van der Weeg is onto the back of Chris Roberts here. The Flemish Sim Sports driver is now going to get plenty of slipstream. Now the top 10 advance in this race, Ollie. We had the first race, the first heat of the night is the top 10 advance, and then the top 10 from this one go through as well. So these guys, whoa, look at that from Tanguy. That was very, very feisty stuff. So the guys in the top 10 in this race make up positions 11 to 20 on the feature race grid. That was brave, brave stuff, that from Tanguy van der Weeg. And this is John Tusting now on the back of Paul Clist for year 1. Side by side down the straight. Whoa, Paul comes over a little bit. He's trying to squeeze John to the outside. Makes John use all the circuit. John's going to have the inside line for turn 2 though, onto the brakes. Oh, Paul really squeezing him there. Luckily they don't lock wheels. Paul didn't leave him much room for error there. That could have been an incident, but luckily they got away with it. And the Quantum Racing car of John Tusting then is now defending into the hairpin. Oh, that's very, very feisty stuff. Oh, Paul chucks it down the inside very hard, and well, that was a bit, he tried a bit too hard there in my opinion. Bit of a late dive. John Tusting lives to fight another day, and unfortunately Clist is down there now, still dropping down the order. Josh Clogg is in 16th place at the moment, and Josh really hasn't been lighting the world up so far this race meeting, I'm afraid. Unlucky 13 for him. Look at the speed around the final corner there. Tanguy van der Weeg has managed to open the gap up there to Chris Roberts behind him. Just going to look at John Tusting actually. So Ben White just behind him, Josh Clogg waiting in the wings as well. A little bit wide there from Mr. Tusting. Ben White, I'm sure, will just be waiting for an opportunity to get through, but this is now a fight for championship points for everybody that is outside of the top 10. Oh, late on the brakes there from Tusting, and that is going to put pay to a few championship points for him there. Stephen Grabowski is 10 seconds back though, so he doesn't have to worry too much at the moment. Danny Fenning is just outside of the top 10 for SimStickers Academy at the moment. It's Victor Centelles that is on for that one. Phil Reagan's off. Phil Reagan in the gravel. Greg Parmenter has Victor blinking around him a lot here. That's got to be very, very off-putting for Greg. But he's doing fine at the moment as the SimStickers Academy driver. Josh Clogg still in 15th place. But Kevin Zemstra leading the race at the moment and doing a fine job of it. Oh, Ben Hoffman. Ben's gone off, he's recovered, but I think it's just a spin out of the left-hander. Let's have a look. It's easy to light up the rears. Oh, the curb just unsettled the car and it was around for a very long time. Year 1 Racing Alpha Live car. Gets back on though and continues. It's close here between Ben White and Josh Clogg now. Josh is starting to close in on him a little bit. We'll go on the gearbox cam of Ben White just so you can see. Great cameras from the gearbox here on iRacing. Showing you the speed of these cars. How planted they are as well around the whole circuit. It's just beautiful. They're very, very underrated cars, Formula 3 cars. Very pokey indeed. Great spec map on that livery as well. Even though it does just look white, it's got a metallic swirls all over it. We'll go on board just so you can see them. There you go. Looks fantastic from a distance as well when it reflects in the sun. Tim Rutten has got Matt Forrest right behind him. Oh, Danny Fenning. Danny was just on the outer fringes of the top 10 and now he's lost his chance. With only 3 laps left, I don't think he's going to make it now. Matt Forrest has just had the better of Tim Rutten, by the way, as well. Into the hairpin they go. He does. That was the number 3 car of Dan Merchant for Flat Out Sim Sports just behind him. Yeah, it's not often we see Josh make a mistake, really, Ollie, but unfortunately, it got the better of him. But a lot of these newcomers to the series are really showing, some of the Season 1 guys, how it is done, let me tell you. There's been some brilliant driving by so many of them so far. And we expect plenty more of the same going into the final race of the night. There will be a 10-minute warm-up as well, just before that. What I will do for you in that time, I won't lie to you everybody, I do need to go and get a drink. I did have one before the broadcast, but as you can imagine it is very hot today, so do make sure you look after yourselves as well, do stay hydrated. So I will just go and grab a drink while the warm-up is on, but I will leave the cameras and everything on for you. This has been a brilliant drive by Kevin Zemstra. Wayne Palmer, though, he's not letting him get away. And Klaus Guger is still in touching distance as well in 3rd position. So, great performances all round from these guys for me. And they've given us some very exciting racing to watch. Ben White. Oh, I was just about to say Ben White is close to Danny Fenning. And Danny's had another mishap. His race is just falling apart here. Oh, Danny. I think he wanted to spin that around in a donut and he's just put it in the wall and made himself look like a donut, I'm afraid. just as he gets back on the power of the car and settles it safe, and that's the front end grips.
We'll save him the embarrassment. We won't show him putting it in the wall again.
Now Greg Parmenter still... Oh! Wayne Palmer has lost second place to Klaus Guger. Now there was traffic around them there, so what's caused that? Actually, Wayne Palmer had a spin just in front of them there. Oh, Victor's off. Victor is off. And to be honest, he's got nearly 18 seconds to Matt Forrest, so he's not going to lose too much time there, to say the least. He is blinking in and out a lot though, so we will look away from that. Wayne Palmer now down to third. He's still in with a shot, obviously, of getting in through into the final race. Kevin Zemstra is just about to come around the final corner though and start the last lap of this one. It's been an exemplary drive by the Fiercely Forward driver. Clear to me that Fiercely Forward know how to pick a driver. White flag in the air then for him. And Wayne Palmer is closing on Klaus Guger. But in my mind, there's no need for him to push this now and force the issue. They're both in with a chance of getting through. And Tanguy van der Weeg is just behind his teammate there. That's Hans Polmans, who's a lap down just behind Wayne Palmer. Oh no, Chris Roberts. Chris Roberts is off. That's out of turn 2. Is he going to lose enough spots to drop out of the top 10? I don't think he is, because, like I say, there's a big gap from 10th place to 11th. 9 seconds now after Victor's earlier incident. So Chris Roberts luckily stays in the top 10 there. He didn't hit anything severe. We've seen a great 2 races so far, and it's going to be one more corner for Kevin Zemstra. Again, everybody, as is tradition, clap emojis please in chat. Kevin Zemstra wins the first consolation race of the season, wiggles the car around in pleased fashion, if that's even a phrase. Klaus Guger second, Wayne Palmer third, Tanguy van der Weeg, what a great drive, 18 places gained. Craig Jones take a bouse on 21 positions gained for Craig to finish 6th and get through to the final race of the night. Chris Roberts finishes 7th, Luke Wobbs is 8th, Greg Parmenter 9th, and Victor, when he appears, when his internet isn't absolutely doing one, Victor Centellas is going to be the last one to get through. Matthew Forrest just missing out for Virtual Racing Compound, and Josh Clogg, big surprise for me there. Josh Clogg, 12th position in that race. Wow, oh wow, Josh. That's a real shame, that is. Josh, who was so competitive last season, not quite having it here. Ben White finishes behind him, Tim Rutten and John Tusting coming around the final corner here. And then we have Stephen Grabowski just behind him. Across the line. Oh, Ben Hoffman's just thought, oh well, I'm only on the last lap, but that's going to be championship points that he is throwing away here. Don't give it up, Ben. Get going. Get going, mate. Anyone that finishes outside the top 10 in this race, this is their first chance to score championship points, so that gets locked in. And across the line he goes. And style points, Ben Hoffman. Style points. Oh, and he does save it. I thought he wasn't going to save that then. Ben Hoffman, everybody. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Right then. I'm just going to leave the cameras on for everyone while these guys go out in warm-up. It's just going to be a 10-minute session for these guys to get back in. Although it says gridding here for some reason. Interesting. Oh no, the warm has begun, yes. These guys are now going to be going out on track. So, just give me a few minutes, guys. I'm just going to leave the information on the left-hand side for you. The cameras will just be on an automatic cycle for a moment, just while I go and get a drink, because don't forget in this weather you do need to stay hydrated. Everyone, do look after yourselves. I will just be literally 2 moments for you.
Okay, I'm back, everybody. Thank you very much for your patience there. Much appreciated. Hassa, hello, my friend. Hassa joins us in the YouTube chat. Ben saying that was a bad performance. To be fair, mate, it's a tricky car. Very tricky car to get right. So don't you worry. So we've got... Oh, there's Ross Nicholson going off. Oh, and he puts it in the wall as well and damages it. This is Ewan Marshall coming out of the pit lane. Down into turn 2. Here's Seb Hebera coming out as well. We just caught a glimpse there of Wayne Palmer coming in the pit lane. Here's Ross Nicholson on his way out. Ross, race winner in Season 1. Very, very good driver is Ross. And here's Arthur Fry, who did a great job in the first race of the night, so I'm expecting big things from Arthur in race 2. Here's Wayne Palmer after his excursion through the pit lane, and there's Seb Hebera after an excursion into the grass on the exit of the hairpin. Chris Roberts says in the chat, I think I need to change my pants after that last spin. I'm not surprised, mate. Here's James Forsythe, fastest at the moment. Oh, that's a big off for James Forsythe, and that's going to go in the wall. Oh, very hard indeed. The gravel did slow that car down quite a lot there, actually. Here's Ross Nicholson. Just coming around the final corner at the moment. We'll go on board for a lap with Ross. Like I said, Ross won a race in the first season. You need to be so committed in that second corner, don't you? Because you've got to let the car wash out wide to try and carry the speed, but just make sure that it doesn't completely go wide and hit that grass. I imagine it's very, very easy to do in a car like this when usually you've got so much grip, it's easy to push it a little bit too hard. And yeah, Nick McLaughlin in the YouTube chat makes a very good point that Chris didn't get caught in the guttering and the banking in that first spin, first race spin. I'll show you how much time we've got left of the session then. A couple of minutes. So what we'll do, we'll actually go over the results from the first 2 races of the night. We're just going to go off the onboard shot there because it's very, very loud indeed. So here are your results from the first race then. Bear with me 1 second, we'll just grab those. Here you go. So Brian Loynes won the race from Ewan Marshall. Adrian Falcon was leading until the last lap when he went off. Seb Hebera, Ross Nicholson, Bart Daleman, James Forsythe, Arthur Fry, Seb Hawkins and Louis Correa all went through into this one. And then the results from the Consolation race was Kevin Zemstra, Klaus Guger, Wayne Palmer, Tanguy van der Veeg, Dries van den Rijk, Craig Jones, Chris Roberts, Luke Wobbs, Greg Parmenter and Victor Centelles. I can't wait to see what these guys make of it then. In this final race, 20 cars. Yeah, the engine noise does go up to 11. Listen to it, it's absolutely brilliant. It sounds awesome. It's the noise of them on the limiter as well at the end of the straight. There we go, just listen to this. The speed as well.
Ready? Here comes the limiter noise. It sounds amazing. Just as it hits it there, you can hear the airbox getting absolutely wringing its neck, trying to get all the revs out of it that it can. Bart Daleman fastest in warm-up at the moment. Pops and bangs all over the place, and you can hear my chair creaking as I move closer to my desk. Apologies if you do hear the fan in the room, by the way, blowing through the microphone. It is so necessary tonight. It's 33 degrees in this room, apparently. And when you've got screens in front of you and a PC under your desk, let me tell you, it doesn't make it any cooler. But yeah, I do have to keep reiterating, guys, just make sure you look after yourselves and stay hydrated in this heat. I know it may be 10:15 at night where most of you are and 9:15 here in the UK, but it's still very, very hot. I do need to get myself a basement. A man cave basement with the rig and everything in, that'd be great. I only have one fan, Hasa, and it's on my sim racing rig next to me, blowing cold air to me at the moment. These times, though, everybody, they're looking quite close, aren't they, between the top 6? Look at that. 5 thousandths between Louis Correa and Seb Hawkins for Abruzzi Esports. Seb was good to watch in the first race of the night. He had a great battle with Arthur Fry, the privateer. Adrian Falcon was leading most of this race. Sorry, the first race of the night, and then managed to go off with just 1 lap to go. Well, just to, in case anyone's wondering, for my internal cooling, I've got a nice ice-cold Copperberg at the moment. Some of the very finest. Okay, so here's your grid then for the final race of the night. Brian Loynes from Ewan Marshall, Adrian Falcon, Seb Herberet and Ross Nicholson are the top 5. Then it's Bart Daleman, James Forsyth, Arthur Fry, Seb Hawkins and Louis Correa. Those guys went through from the first heat of the evening. Kevin Zemstra and Klaus Guger, the first 2 from the Consolation race, followed by Wayne Palmer and Tanguy van der Veeg. Then we have Dries van den Rijt, Craig Jones, Chris Roberts, Luke Wobbs, Greg Parmenter and Victor Centelles lining up at the back of the grid. So here we go then. First time this season. And the feature race is underway. Quite a lot of wheel spin. Look at Adrian Falcon from the second row of the grid straight through into the race lead. Beautiful start. Brian Loynes got so much wheel spin there, it's hard to know what to do. Middle of the field, there's Arthur Fry going around the outside, trying to hang it out round there. Is there any contact? Doesn't look like it. Everyone just shaking up a little bit. Ross Nicholson there just on his outside. 3 wide through the middle. Oh, there's contact and around they go in front of the field. There's going to be cars all over the place caught up in that one. So many people. I've seen a good 7 or 8 cars hitting that one. Seb Hawkins, James Forsyth as well. Those cars are doing unspeakable things that usually you have to pay to get a premium subscription for. Ewan Marshall, though, is still in second place, and Brian Loynes in third. Bart Daleman on his own in fourth, and then Dries van den Rijt back there in fifth. That has split the field up completely. But what a start by Adrian Falcon. He was flying there. That was amazing. Do want to have a look back at what happened, though. So Arthur Fry went down the inside of Seb Herberet. And the cars that were on the inside, Forsyth just, nowhere to go. And, Seb Hawkins as well. Just trying to find Seb Hawkins. James Forsyth got caught up in that quite severely. You can see the accident just happen in front of him there. He slows down and gets hit by Seb Hawkins, who then, the Flemish Simsports car gets hit as well, loses the rear wing there, does James Forsyth. Big mess. Can't figure out which of the Flemish cars it was that got hit. I think it was Tanguy van der Veeg. But he's made up quite a few places here, actually. But Seb Hawkins, Kevin Zemstra, Arthur Fry, they're all out. Oh, Greg Parmenter's going down the order. Oh, he's just fancied trying the Paris-Dakar, and that's broken that. And unfortunately that. Although, no, apparently at our end it thought it was more broken than it was. Oh well. just like on the Discovery Channel, says Asa. Love it. Now, can Adrian Falcon make up for binning it in race 1 from the lead and win this one? It's a 21 lap race. Should take about half an hour. But Ewan Marshall, he's been a great hit so far. These two newcomers to the championship. Brian Loynes, very successful in season 1. Here's Tanguy van der Weeg all over the back of Craig Jones. These two gained so many places in race 1. I think Craig Jones gained 21 positions. Yeah, sometimes the wheels sort of do break at one end and then the sim sort of realises, oh, it's not that damaged. Tanguy van der Weeg looks down the inside of Craig Jones. Nice little move there. And he's already in front before the straight. Now, it's all going to depend on who gets the best run. Adrian Falcon has Marshall right up behind him. No point for Marshall to try anything at this stage, because all he'll be doing is making life harder for himself as the race carries on. No advancements or anything in this one. This is all now just about championship points and championship positions. James Forsyth just trying to stay out of the way there. Yeah, you're right, actually. Zemstra did go off, didn't he? Just trying to have a quick look. I think he had a separate incident. Let's have a look. So this is while all this was going on. There is the incident in front. He manages to go around it. Oh, is he going to get hit when he comes back on? Oh, no, he loses it. No. Seems like he got away with that. Can't see anything else. He came in the pit lane afterwards at the end of the lap, but the car looks absolutely fine. It's very strange. Here's Victor Centelles. Behind him is Klaus Guger and Louis Correa, the two privateers, and then Ross Nicholson is the next car position-wise. Anyway, there was another car behind them on track there. Seb Heberer. Oh, Brian Loynes and Ewan Marshall changing place for second. Daleman did the fastest lap for a second there, and now it's Tanguy van der Weeg. Tanguy's been great tonight. But yeah, Mark Elviota says, I'm amazed by Falcon's start. Well, tell you what better way to see it than from on board Adrian Falcon's car. Brian Loynes in front will get a lot of wheel spin, but look at that. He just hooks it up. It sounds like he short shifts it. Look at it go. What a run from Adrian Falcon. Amazing, amazing start, and he's still got the race lead. Looks like Victor Centelles there is having a real scrap with Klaus Guger. Just swapped around places there. Please do remember, everybody, to subscribe to Simracersworld TV. We have a round of this championship every 2 weeks. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon as well for notifications going forward for when we do go live. It's not just this series we cover. We have the Simracersworld GT Pro and GT Evo series. Down the inside, by the way, Louis Correa, what a move. And Louis Correa, speaking of, he races in another championship that we broadcast every third Sunday, which is the Sunday Drivers MX5 series. We also have the Virtual Bell Car E-Series as well. This weekend we have the 6 hours of Daytona from that championship. And then the next round is in, well, it's actually on Halloween. We have the 24 hours of Zolder. We're getting back to this though. This is a great battle here between Victor and Louis. Louis Correa, the Venezuelan driver, just trying to hold his nerve. It's close at the front as well. Ewan Marshall cannot get away from Brian Loynes, who's really come on this season. Very pleased for him. See the gap just opens up and then closes up. Bart Delman, by the way, has overtaken Tanguy van der Weeg at some point. Let's just have a scan through and see whether we can see when that happened. Interesting. Oh, Arthur Fry's gone off the circuit. This is into turn 2. Oh, he's clipped the grass. Wow, he's done well not to have that go all the way around. Is he going to miss a wall? Oh, no. No, he's not. Never mind. That was a big, big hit there for Arthur Fry. And yeah, look at that. In the pit lane, abandoned in bits. That's a real shame, that. Real shame. This is close.
Chris Roberts all over the back of Wayne Palmer at the moment. Just behind them as well is Klaus Guger and Victor Bolea Centelles. 2 by 2 they go. Noah's Ark into turn 1. Plenty of space. Down the inside, Chris Roberts, 100% man. Down the inside for Virtual Racing Compound, VRC. Beautiful. Nice textbook stuff there to take 8th position. 9th now for Wayne Palmer. Luke Wobbs in there as well with Klaus Guger. So it's actually Victor, had dropped off in the background. That's my mistake, sorry. Now Luke has a Fiercely Forward spec map on. You can see the lion on the side of the car, but for some reason it hasn't properly loaded delivery on there, I'm afraid. So close between these guys. Wayne Palmer and Chris Roberts really getting their elbows out now. Please avoid contact, boys. Around the outside, Chris Roberts carries a bit too much speed into there. Down the inside, beautiful stuff. Oh, they were all a little bit late on the brakes there. There might have been contact. But Wayne Palmer did a great job at getting that car stopped there. I know it's not Ali. He's got the Fiercely Forward spec map on it. But yeah, not that one, I'm afraid. I did install the paint pack just beforehand, so I'm not sure whether the upload hasn't quite worked on the website or something, but I hope you can get it sorted. Oh, Ross Nicholson's in. You wouldn't know. There he is. Ross Nicholson must have had a slowdown, or a drive-through, I should say. Third of the way through the race then, lap 7 out of 21. Ewan Marshall is not losing this. Oh, Chris Roberts is around. What's happened, Chris? Side by side with Wayne Palmer. Oh, just a little adjustment on the inside. Wow, Luke Wobbs got close there. Chris Roberts is now going to be trying to fight back through. Here is Luke Wobbs. There, just behind is Klaus Guger, looking very, very feisty. See Klaus just holding back a little bit there to make sure it doesn't make contact or anything. He doesn't want to send it up the inside just yet. It's a bit risky to try and do it into there just in case the guy in front turns in. That wasn't a very good Australian accent, I must admit. Loynes does his fastest lap of the race in chasing Ewan Marshall. Oh, Wayne Palmer's in the pits. Wayne Palmer just came in as well. 2 SimStickers racing cars having what I imagine is a drive-through, or is it a stop and go? Yeah, I'm not sure whether he knows that it's... Usually it's just a drive-through, you don't have to stop, but I'm not sure whether they've set it to be that manually. But here's this battle again, and Luke Wobbs and Klaus Guger, Dutch driver against the Austrian driver, into the hairpin. Klaus went in there a little bit hot. Fuel, says Paul. Interesting. Ah, it is a forced pit stop. Right, okay. Ah, sorry. I apologise, yes. There will not be enough fuel in the fixed setup. Bart did tell me that beforehand. So we will be seeing pit stops from these guys. Very interesting. Maybe Ross Nicholson and Wayne Palmer there playing a good card to try and get into some clean air. And that's, well, that's exactly what they've got at the moment. Wayne Palmer's got 17 seconds ahead to Seb Herbera. And Ross Nicholson is only 2 seconds behind his teammate. So they could have played a genius stroke there, to be honest. Thank you for the update though, Paul. I hope you enjoyed the first round of the season, buddy, and I hope you enjoy the broadcast as well. And all the guys at SimStickers, thank you very much for the support for this championship. Don't forget, everybody, do check out simstickers.co.uk. It's in the video description as well. They are a very, very proud sponsor of this series, and we love their support. And to be honest, I'm a huge fan of the beautiful liveries as well, to be honest. They look absolutely mega. This chase, though, from Luke Wobbs and Klaus Guger is not over yet, is it? It's called the nose cam. Over the hill, onto the brakes. Down the gears to the apex. There's a lot of camber on the inside of the corner there. It's so easy as the weight transfers to just lose the rear end around these final couple of corners. Bit of a later apex there from Klaus Guger. He's going to get some severe slipstream here. Onto the back of Luke Wobbs. Which way is he going to go? Left or right? Left or right? Place your bets. He's got to go to the right, surely. Oh, he backs out of it. Luke Wobbs takes the inside line. Pops and bangs. Love it. It's not a Fiesta ST, though. Not even halfway through the race now. Still got another 11 laps to go. Klaus Guger is just trying to put as much pressure as possible on Luke Wobbs, and Luke is doing a great job at soaking it up, you have to say. Louis Carrera is starting to get in on this as well now, on the outer fringes of the top 10. Ewan Marshall is only 0.4 of a second behind Brian Loynes in second place. Or he was, actually. That gap's just opened up massively. What's happened there? He's now in the clutches of Bart Delman. Interesting. And Luke Wobbs has actually got Klaus Guger next to him now. Still doesn't succumb to the pressure, though. Defends the inside. Klaus is trying very hard here, but I think before long we're going to see Louis Correa come through. Let's have a look. We'll go on board with Louis. It's just not enough, is it? You can just see that there's not that much of a closing speed. With Guger in front having the slipstream, he's going to try and go through as well. Listen to that thing on the limit of flipping heck. Klaus Guger down the inside. Luke Wobbs has the inside for turn 2, though. Is he going to make it work? Wow, look at the speed that Klaus carries there. There's still an overlap, though. He needs to be careful not to make contact. He's going to run a little bit wide on the exit. On the exit, as the Australians would say here at Phillip Island. But still, Klaus Guger has taken the position. But now he needs to be on the inside for the hairpin as well. And he knows that, hence he's done it. Whoa, he moves over a little bit there on Luke Wobbs. It was almost contact. Some brilliant racing, though. Great stuff. I would say door to door, but it's cockpit to cockpit. Side pod to side pod. The list goes on, trust me. Round they go then. Still, Louis Correa is not giving up on this fight either. He really wants to be in this one. A little bit different from the MX-5 I'm used to seeing him drive, to be honest. But I hope the stream looks good, everybody. Hope it's nice and smooth. I know that some of my footage in the past has been a little bit jumpy, so I hope it looks okay. Just want to make sure that everyone is getting the best quality stream that we can give them. Oh, look at that, Luke Wobbs just looking around the outside. Oh, Chris Roberts has gone off. Oh, there's damage there. That is a big, big hit, surely, for Chris Roberts. Oh, this is Ewan Marshall going off as well. Oh, tiny slide. Manages to catch it. Let's have a look at what happens to Chris Roberts, as intended. Is that a bit of smoke in front? Oh, he just loses the back end. He's going to hit the banking. Oh, wow, invisible wall for Chris Roberts there, I'm afraid. Yeah, look, nowhere for him to go. You can see the outline of it on the surface. And I think if it did let you go through that, we all know that you would just fall through the earth if you hit that bit. Yeah, look, you can see he's going through it there. I imagine Chris Roberts would probably just drop through through that at some point soon. Adrian Falcon then, still leading. Brian Loynes has come in the pit lane. So Bart Delman through into second place in car 2. Thank you very much, Belgian Red Eagle. Thank you for the feedback, mate. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Hope you're enjoying the commentary. I'm trying to keep up as best I can, everybody. Very dry throat in this weather. It's difficult. What are you doing, my swamp, he says. Love it. Seb Heber is in the pit lane, not that you'd know. Adrian Falcon has been brilliant this evening, though, I must say. There was that mistake in turn 1 for the Team Iridium driver, but what a great start to a season. And, well, that start, I mean, let's talk about that start in race 1. He was flying off the line. Bit of a moment from Brian Loynes, of course. Meant that he could get a bit of an easier jump. See the pit stops on the left-hand side. Brian Loynes top of those that has pitted at the moment. He's actually followed by Wayne Palmer and Ross Nicholson, his SimStickers teammates. Victor Centelles has not pitted yet. No one in the top 10 has. But we'll keep an eye on that as it goes. I will let you know. Closest 2 cars on track though at the moment are still these guys. Louis Correa chasing down Luke Wobbs. It'll be interesting to see who keeps an eye on the fuel levels though, and who comes in. I was told that it'd start to run out about the 20-minute mark. Let's just have a look at how long through the race we are. 18 minutes, so between the 20 and 25-minute mark apparently the fuel would run out. So yeah, we're not too far away now from seeing a lot of people pit at once. But this is a great chase at the moment from Louis Correa. Trying to chase down Luke Wobbs. You can see the gap there changing. Down the inside. Still wheel to wheel on the exit. You can see the thousandths growing there in the bottom right of your screen. And well, Luke Wobbs still holding on, but still now they go side by side again. Looked like Correa got out of shape almost there, trying to avoid the 22. It's 22 and 77. Look at that around the outside from Luke Wobbs. Great commitment to hold the car around there. Beautifully done. Centelles has got Loynes behind him. Yeah, that's what I call teamwork, says Mark Alviota. He's tried to deploy smokescreen, but it's not very effective, it seems. But it is very distracting when you have a connection like that. I hope he can get it sorted for the rest of the season, because we don't like to see it. It has been quite consistently like that all night as well. Louis Correa now around the outside of Luke Wobbs. Back to these pair, these two privateers. Sorry, Luke Wobbs is for fiercely forward. Oops, sorry Ollie. Look at that from Louis Correa. Luke Wobbs doesn't give him all the room in the world. Louis is now through. But will Luke fight back? Well, rhetorical question. Of course Luke's going to fight back. Really look down the inside into the hairpin. Makes it very clear that's where he's going to go. Sets it up nicely. Louis Correa turns in. Oh, a bit of curb there for Luke Wobbs. Runs a little bit wide, lights up the rears on exit, and Louis Correa, I believe, is going to keep the place. Still side by side though, into the hairpin. And Louis manages to negate the gap. Tanguy van der Veeg, by the way, all over Bart Delman now. These two very pretty cars have gradually just sort of magnetised towards each other. Are either of them going to come in the pits? Yes, Tanguy van der Veeg is in the pit lane to take his fuel. There goes Bart Delman then, still P2 car 2. Ross Nicholson has really closed on to the back of his teammate Wayne Palmer now as well. And these guys, second and third of the cars that have pitted. Brian Loynes has got past Victor Centelles, by the way. Here is the move. Oh, Victor a little bit out of shape. Brian did not need a second invitation there, did he? Beautifully done by Brian. And Victor is now in the pit lane, so we'll bring back up the pit stops for you. You can see that Brian is now the top car that has pitted, and all this clean air may have helped him, but don't forget, Adrian Falcon at the top of the standings, and Bart Delman and Ewan Marshall have all had clean air as well, so they've been able to keep it running. Tanguy van der Veeg just in the background there, chasing down Brian Loynes now. He's been really, really fast tonight. It's been great to watch Tanguy in his debut in the series. Still close though between Luke Wobbs and Louis Correa. Luke has actually managed to get back past him. So look how he did it. Down the straight. Nice easy place to do it. If you can't get rid of them halfway around the lap, then there's every chance you're going to get overtaken on the straight again. And Luke getting it done there. Adrian Falcon then, race leader, and Dries van den Rijt in the pit lane here. So we'll keep an eye on Brian Loynes. Where is he? Brian is just coming round the... Oh, actually, Adrian Falcon's already moving, and he's already away. Brian Loynes is going to be nowhere near him, surely. There goes Brian. And Adrian is going to hold on to the race lead. There he is. 2.4 seconds the gap now. Adrian leads the way, but Bart Delman is the overall race leader at the moment. But theoretically, when the pit stops all level out, he's not going to stay there. Ewan Marshall still out there as well in second place. Interesting to see strategies in these races. 4 laps to go. That's gone very quickly, hasn't it? Only 2 cars then that haven't pitted, and they are the lead pair of Delman and Marshall. Oh, Chris Roberts has had an issue again. Oh, it's another one for him. Look at it down the hill. Ruins the grass. Ruins the tyres. Puts dust everywhere. Looks like he was never there. So Bart Delman is in the pits. Ewan Marshall is also in the pits. And you've got to love that camera. You can hear them changing gear. Let's not talk about that. Here's Adrian Falcon then in the lead. Bart Delman already coming out of the pit lane, but it's not going to be enough. Adrian Falcon goes through. Brian Loynes, he also goes through. Tanguy van der Veeg, where's he in comparison to Bart Delman? There's Bart. It's literally a drag race, and Bart just loses out. Tanguy van der Veeg up to 3rd place. So that outlap must have been a dream from Tanguy. Although I say that, whoa, the back end gets away from him there, and he's going to lose a bit of time to Bart Delman. Not too much though, but it's going to put Bart in slipstreaming range. Here's Craig Jones and Wayne Palmer side by side. Wayne down the inside for 8th position. Craig says no, I still want it back. Not at all. Oh, there's contact, and Wayne is around. Craig's off as well. Broken suspension and rear wing for both of them. And they're both trying to get back on. The cars magically fixed themselves. I think that's just a sim update, and we've all seen it before. What do you call of it, everybody? I think personally, Craig, he lets off the brakes, doesn't he? And then the contact happens, and then ready, and boink, fixed. Well, they both carry on there. They're both very lucky there to continue. Somebody organise a church for these pair, will you? Louis Carrera and Luke Wobbs so close together, and they have been pretty much all race long. Completely intertwined with one another at the moment. They're going to be writing each other private messages all night. Louis Carrera though still holding on. Luke Wobbs just quite can't do it. Well, can't quite do it if I speak English. Well, here's your race leader then after the pit stops, Adrian Falcon. Amazing performance by him so far. But as we learned in race 1, we can't say anything yet. It's not the last lap yet. We saw a very strange mistake from Adrian, just a little bit wide around turn 1. Oh, we've got Wayne Palmer back in the pit lane. Must be damage. Surely it's damage. Yeah, it's real shame that. Real shame for Wayne Palmer. Tanguy has gained 11 places at the moment to get to 3rd position. He's having an amazing drive. The sun is going down here. You can see the conditions have got considerably darker. 2 laps to go. And it's 22 and 77 yet again. So close together. Got 125 championship points for the race winner in this championship. Craig Jones then 13th at the moment, chasing down Seb Heberer. Flemish power, says Belgian Red Eagle. Love it. There's a lot of Flemish power in this championship. There's a lot of Flemish power in the top 6 at the moment. 3 Belgian drivers in there as it stands. The only 3 Belgian drivers in the race as well, actually. They're in the top 6. It's close between Tanguy van der Veeg and Bart Delman. under half a second between these pair. Bart Daleman, multiple race winner last season and series organiser. Oh, tell you what, Tanguy is really risking it there by putting a wheel on the grass. We'll go on board with Bart Daleman and see what he can do in terms of chasing him down. You can see the beautiful metallic effect on the nose of the car. Sunset just in the distance there. 1 lap to go after this. Good commitment from Bart Daleman. Looked like the car was starting to get away a little bit there. He just shows his nose down the inside just to say, I am here. And the beauty of that corner is that you can really put your nose down the inside and still make the apex. Camber really helps you. Dries van den Rijt's had an issue, by the way. Oh, he's gone hot into the hairpin there, surely. Yep. Not too much of an issue. It's very dusty tyres in the process. They'll clean themselves off quite quickly. This has got even closer now between these guys. On the tip of your seat is Belgian Red Eagle. I hope you guys have all enjoyed the stream so far. This has been a real good laugh, this one. I've enjoyed this thoroughly. And after the horrific technical issues I had yesterday, I'm very, very pleased that things have been running smoothly this time round. Thank you for bearing with me over the time I've had my technical issues, by the way, anyone that has watched before. Oh, will these pair get a room? Louis Correa and Luke Wobbs, honestly, inseparable. I hope we get to interview them both afterwards. It's like watching the Red Arrows with wheels. And down the inside, finally, Louis Correa makes it. Well, here's your race leader then, Adrian Falcon. What a great job he's done. Safe to say that he is starting his championship very well. I quite like the very bright yellow helmet that he's wearing there. Really contrasts to the car. It shows you how small Formula 3 cars actually are. I mean, you see them in person, you do think they're quite big, but they're really not that large. Oh no, Luke Wobbs has gone off the track. No. We'll have to have a look back and see. But everybody, your feature race winner, first round of the championship goes to Adrian Falcon. What a brilliant performance. Very, very well done. Crosses the line. Brian Loynes second for SimStickers. Great start to the season. Tanguy van der Veeg holds on to the podium from Bart Daleman in the end. Ewan Marshall, a top 5 for Meraki Racing. Dries van den Rijt manages to hold on to 6th place despite his little moment before. Very well done to Dries. Ross Nicholson is going to come home in 7th place ahead of Klaus Guger and Louis Correa. Klaus Guger putting the clutch in there as he crosses the line. And Luke Wobbs is gone. He's gone. What has happened to Luke Wobbs? Louis Correa beats him home, of course, but let's have a look. I hope it wasn't contact. Oh, it was. Oh, no. Oh, it's such a shame for that battle to end that way. Just have a quick look at it from the chopper cam. We'll go in slow-mo as well, so apologies if you hear the wind noise from the fan now. Oh, it's just, Louis is a little bit late on the brakes and it just pops that right rear suspension out. Louis gets a bit of damage as well. Loses the front wing and the nose, and then it just, as it goes in the wall, it just melts the car. Luke Wobbs' car. It's such a shame, man. Such a shame. Here's Greg Parmenter for SimStickers? SimStickers Academy. He's going to be the last car to cross the line. And that is going to round out our evening, but wow. Wow, wow, wow. What an evening we have had. And Adrian Falcon, well, not a bad word can be said about his performances tonight. And there is the official confirmation. Adrian Falcon wins the feature race, round 1 of the SimStickers Formula 3 series. And then behind him, Brian Loynes. Great second place there for Brian. He did very, very well indeed. And then 3rd place, Tanguy van der Veeg. Great to watch this evening. Bart Daleman, 4th place. Ewan Marshall, 5th. He'll be happy with that on his debut. Dries van den Rijt, more good points for him in 6th with Ross Nicholson. Klaus Guger, Louis Correa, great debut for him as well. Seb Herbera rounds out the top 10. We then have Victor Centelles, then Craig Jones. Kevin Zemstra didn't really do much in that feature race after his off near the start. Seb Hawkins in 14th place and Wayne Palmer in 15th. And we have Greg Parmenter. Can you hear my voice getting rougher and rougher? 16th place for Greg Parmenter. Luke Wobbs still classified 1 lap down there in 17th, ahead of James Forsyth, Chris Roberts and Arthur Fry, unfortunately losing out due to the incident at the very start. So, bear with me a moment while I just get on Discord, and we will jump into the chat and see who we can have a chat with. We'll, well, it may not bring fond memories for him, but we'll look back at the start of the race for Brian Loynes, who joins me in the box. Brian, that was, well, I mean, overall a strong start to your campaign there, mate, but from pole position, I expect you wanted just that one little bit more, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a bit of a scrappy start, spinning up the rear wheels and then just watching everybody else swarm around you. It's a scary moment to be in. Thankfully, I was able to keep it clean and everybody else near to me, but I know there's a bit of carnage behind.
Yeah, there's certainly that, mate. Adrian Falcon tonight, I mean, I know it's not really the done thing to first off ask you about other drivers' nights, but he seemed to set a bit of a benchmark in both races despite his incident in race 1. Do you think you'll be having a good battle with him all season long?
I mean, that's the aim for sure, definitely. I mean, he's done very well, and congratulations to him. He certainly had the pace. I couldn't really hang with him. I had to really push for it. I was hoping for another mistake in the feature, but it wasn't there. He drove a little more conservative towards the end, as did I, trying to hold on to it towards the end of that.
And speak to me about your pace. I mean, you've just become completely revitalised from season 1. I mean, there was, I'm sure you won't mind me saying, there was drivers in the series tonight that, you know, the likes of Bart Daleman, Dries van den Rijt, I mean, the likes of Josh Clogg as well, who had an absolute shocker of an evening. Guys that, I mean, we didn't really see you battling with much in season 1, but you've come alive this time and shown how it's done. I mean, what's changed mainly?
Yeah, I think it's just more track time and a bit more consistency by having a lot more track time. I think I've turned probably close to 250 laps, I'd say, around this place, and that's a lot of practice. And I think it pays off. Practice at the end of the day is the key thing going into a race, and I think it really paid off because I was able to be comfortable with my pace. It wasn't like a one-off lap that flew me to pole. I could hang with that. So definitely, just the practice makes perfect.
Well, it's a good example.
Absolutely.
It's a good example for everyone else that, I mean, it does make a difference. A lot of guys, I know they put a lot of time in and they just get fed up because, you know, they're chasing tenths and chasing lap times again and again, but it's just improving your consistency and knowing exactly where to brake and exactly what bit of the curb to hit, what not to hit, because obviously in these sorts of cars you really have to think about what curbs you can go for and sort of what runoff areas you can use, don't you? They're very fragile.
Absolutely. I mean, any curb, and there's certainly some curbs that some of the tracks are going to be coming up to that are going to be very dangerous for these cars, and that was my problem from season 1, was always that consistency. I could show some good pace, but it was being that consistent over the stint. That's really paid off.
And what did you find that the pit stops added to the second race, well, the feature race, I should say? Did you think that made it a lot more exciting, or did you find it to be a bit of a pain?
I mean, I'm a big fan of pit stops and changing up the strategy. They're quite hard to overtake in these cars, especially on a track like this. So I decided to go slightly earlier with the pit stops. I find the car a bit easier to drive on heavier fuel, so I went through on. That's mainly the reason why I decided to, rather than a strategy. Just it's easier to drive the car on heavier fuel, so I went in earlier.
Yeah.
But I think it changes the strategy. It makes you think about how you're going to race, and is there a gap that you can come out into? You've really got to think about more of your racing now, rather than just putting the car on the track. Yeah,
it seemed like you and Ross both wanted a bit of clean air as well, and obviously that's very important when you get stuck in a battle in these cars. Like you say, it's hard to overtake, and with the slipstreaming down the straight, I mean, we saw a lot of guys were getting stuck in battles, and then by the time they got to the straight, they'd been overtaken again, and you thought, well, they're not going to be able to get away at all, like, no matter where they go. So the clean air does seem very important around a track like this. Another one as well, just to mention, next week we go to Monza. That's going to be a track of mind games and slipstream, isn't it?
I think so. I certainly think it's going to be one of that. You want to sit behind people, especially for qualifying. You're going to have that Monza-esque kind of sitting behind each other, looking for that spot to get some slipstreams down the straights, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I mean, I haven't done any running there at all. I've never raced at Monza, so I've got a whole lot of practice to get on with that, and no doubt I will do because it's paid dividends today.
Well, it was great to watch, Brian. Very well done, mate. Before I let you go there tonight, is there anybody you would like to give a shout out to, mate?
Obviously, a huge thank you to the Sim Stickers team for being very grateful for the opportunity to be back here with the Simracersworld and the F3 League, and obviously yourself, Chaz, for the broadcast. It's always good. I'll be sure to watch back and look through all of tonight's events.
Thank you very much, Brian. Well, good to speak to you, and I'll let you go and enjoy your evening, mate.
Thank you very much, sir.
Cheers. Brian Loynes there, finishing second in the feature race. And, well,
fucked you up last lap.
Someone that had a very interesting race as we joined in mid-profanity there. Luke Wobbs,
Yo, hey.
How did you find that, mate? A real shame about the incident at the end, but it looked like a good fun race.
Yeah, it was so bad. It felt, the racing, I think it's one of the best races I ever had, but like we were like 15 laps straight line, like completely racing within a second of each other with 5 cars, and then the accident happened on the last lap. Yeah, I feel terrible, to be honest. I feel really terrible.
I'm not surprised, mate. I mean, you had such a fantastic performance all the way through for it to end, and obviously it's the fickle nature of open wheel racing, isn't it? A tiny bit of contact can ruin a race.
Yeah.
I was just saying, Mark, like most of the way through the race, though, we're going to have to organise some sort of ceremony for you and Louis Correa. You were absolutely inseparable through that. It was fantastic to watch. I imagine it was enjoyable, was it? Yeah,
it was just amazing. It felt crazy good, and also that we had so much good racing and no contact, like me bailing out, he bailing out, too wide. It was just amazing.
And it really builds up your confidence racing against somebody like that when you know that in a league like this you're going to have people like that on track, and obviously learning people's different driving styles over the course of the season, it really helps you sort of have a bit of confidence to just put it up the inside or just feel like you can defend it a bit harder, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I don't know if you've seen the move like the corner before, what I did on the inside. Like,
I don't think we caught it. We just focused on the leader for the end, and I think we came back to the incident when it just happened.
Yeah, that move was like so deep for me, and that gave me a lot of confidence, and I thought like I have it now, I have the P9, but then that happened and I feel pretty terrible. But the racing was so much fun, and I hope everyone enjoyed it a lot.
Well, I'm sure it certainly was fun to watch, mate, and I hope if you watch the broadcast back, you enjoy it as well. You got a lot of airtime with that fantastic battle as well, so
it was crazy.
It'll make for good
especially gonna give thanks to my team boss.
Oh, Mr. Slade.
Yeah, Mr. Slade. I want to give him such a big thank you. Like, I wouldn't be here without him. He like scrapped me up from nothing. I was very like not anywhere near good, and he gave me a chance in the team, and that I could perform this whole race. Thanks, Ollie. Really, thanks. Thank you.
Nicely said, mate. Well done tonight, Luke. It's a shame about the result in the end, but your racing was fantastic, so hopefully we'll see the same next time round.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I will be there, and I will be stronger there.
Smashing. See you soon, mate.
Yeah, see ya, man. Have a good day.
Thank you. Luke Wobbs there. Lovely guy. Really, really lovely guy. And someone else that I know will be very excited after that one, after what did turn out to be a recovery drive this evening. Tanguy van der Veeg, if I've said your name correctly, mate, he's joined us in the box. That was, well, a feisty night from you. I mean, you got so many overtakes done. You must be very pleased with that.
Yeah, the name is pronounced quite right.
I thought I was hoping I got sort of there. I'm usually either almost got it, or I'm either nowhere near. So
yeah, no, it's okay. I've heard worse.
I can imagine.
So yeah,
to be fair.
my races didn't. Yeah, it was a real roller coaster tonight. First race, got upside down, towed back to the pits. Kept on driving because you never know what position you can end up in.
Yeah.
But yeah, ended in 32 I was, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then Heat 2, it was better because a lot of crashes in front of me, where luckily I could escape from. So that was good, and then managed to keep on pushing until up until P4. So that's then P14 for the feature race. And yeah, I know for the feature race, starting from P14, I had to be aggressive from the start on. So did some quite tricky overtakes and managed to keep on pushing, and then yeah, I followed Bart a bit, and it all worked out. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when he emerged from the pits and you were ahead of him, I bet there was quite a sigh of relief there to have got a podium spot.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, can I outdrag him? Yes, I got him.
It looked like it was going to be very close as well as he came down the pit lane. Obviously, it's quite a long exit out of there, so they can really build up speed. But with him being on the outside, I think you just picked him. He started to close near the end, though. I mean, did you notice that, or did you just have eyes forward and just focus on the last sort of couple of laps?
Yeah, well, from experience, I know that if you watch back and look at the gap behind you, you always make mistakes. So I tried to manage the gap in front of me, and I saw I was closing in on, I don't know who was in second, but I closed in on him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I felt like the tires were beginning to fade off, and I had to just manage P3 because that was the best I could get out of it.
Well, it was a fantastic performance all the same, Tanguy. It was really good fun to watch as well. I hope you get the same in 2 weeks' time at Monza. But before we go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, certainly. First off, I want to thank Flemish Simsport for taking me up in the team. Second, I want to give a shout out to my homie Matthias Poelman and to my other homie Rafael de Boek. 2 lovely guys, and for the rest, I'll keep on pushing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, those Flemish Simsport fan club guys really love you in the chat. You're
yeah.
You've got a great following, so yeah, I'll tell
Always
you what.
great to see and to hear.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully they'll follow the entire circus around the whole season, mate, because it was great to have them. So well done, and we'll speak to you at Monza.
Thank you.
Cheers. And always worth it to drag one more in. And mid-conversation, sorry Bart, we'll bring series organiser and Simracersworld esports driver Bart Daleman into the chat. Bart, just to sort of put your race organiser hat on for a second, tonight seemed brilliant. It was great racing all the way up and down the order. Obviously being involved with it as well, how did you find it? Did you think that the whole thing was a hit?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. There was very close racing, and the lap times in quali and in warm-up was very, very close. So
Yeah.
the level, the competitive level has been risen since last season. So we have to. I think we have some good competition for Herbenu if he comes back next round.
Yeah, true.
So I think it's going to be a fun season. And I wanted to ask you, I don't know how the format worked it out on the stream, if it was okay or not.
Yeah, really, really good actually. Just going very quick fire from one race into the other is very exciting. It was good, a lot of fun. We didn't even have an ad break, and you know it just helps with the stream, I'd say. I mean, I'm literally giving you feedback on air while people are watching me give you feedback, but I'm sure people will agree that it was just race after race, warm-up session race. It's brilliant, brilliant fun. I'll admit, because it's so hot, I did have to get a drink during the warm-up, but to be honest, we had still shots of people still practicing and stuff, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I imagine from a driver's perspective as well that it's quite challenging because you don't really get a break, do you? If I mean, especially nobody gets really that much of a break unless you get into the final straight away. But in some scenario, no matter where you are in the order, you're always going to end up with a back-to-back race, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a constant, especially in these warms. You are constantly busy, and it's fun to. If we were waiting, I was watching the other guys racing. I really like that, and I really hope that everybody enjoyed it. There were some incidents, but we are going to watch them and talk them through with some guys. Some issues with netcode or lag issues.
Yeah.
We try to sort it out with those drivers. We talk about it. We try to fix that for round 2, and I think it will become better and better.
Yeah, definitely. It works as a format very, very well, mate. I really enjoyed broadcasting it for you, and I'm sure that everybody that was watching, they've given it a very good reception. It seems like they've enjoyed themselves too. So, well done on that. And before we let you go, mate, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to the admin team for helping me, and yeah, thanks to you for doing this again for season 2. That's all.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Bart, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time at Monza.
See you at Monza.
Bart Daleman there, series organiser and all-round good guy. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the stream tonight, everybody. It's been a hell of a lot of fun, and that was the first round of the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. I've been your host, Chaz Draycott. I'll be with you for the entire season, and as you've heard, in 2 weeks' time we go to Monza, the Temple of Speed in Italy, and it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys approach that one. Plenty of mind games on show, I'm sure. But thank you everybody that has watched tonight. Your presence is very much greatly appreciated, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Have a good night.
Take me high, break me down, you're the flashing lights I see. Catch my soul, lose my mind, you're the only trip I need. I'm losing control, your eyes entice me. Just letting go, your hold is tightening. crashing through